We're going live and we're running. Alright. First off, we're going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Ruach Kodash. We're going to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the whole Codex, Christian truth and sincerity, man. We're just going to kick straight into it, man. Because I did a video during the week, talking about Yahweh Shai when he returns. He's not going to be the hero of the world, the world, this world, these people, they're kind of, enamored by superheroes and stuff, right? Someone that's going to come and protect them when evil comes and whatever. But what you don't understand that when the Lord returns, he is that evil. He is that evil that's going to come to the earth, right? And when he does come, he's only going to save a few, right, of his people, or of the children of Israel, the elect, like we always go into, right? The Lord is not coming here to save everybody on the planet, right? So in the eyes of the people, the Lord's gonna be a villain in this world, someone that's evil, coming to do harm to the earth and destroy their way of living, destroy everything that's been built. And typically, that's what Esau, he kind of he puts in these movies. That's what they come to do. They come from outer space or wherever, and they come to destroy or enslave the people of Earth, right? That's what they come to do. And they're typified as the bad guy in the story. But we know that this world is evil and corrupt, right? Really, the bad guy in this story is the world, the people, Esau, beginning of Esau. These are the evil in the world. These are the wicked that prosper in the world. This is an evil, wicked place and corrupt, morally corrupt. And we can see it's getting worse day by day. It's getting worse, right? But people have been put in this mindset that this life that we live in this world is somehow good and progressive. And we've got a bright future in front of us, and all we got to do is just follow Esau, right? Who is the demon, the devil in disguise, right? He's not the good guy, right? So unlike those fantasy worlds, there isn't any superheroes per se, that's going to come and rise up and prevent this great evil from happening, right? You ain't got no Supermans and nothing like that, right? You got your military, you got your American military. You got your NATOs, right? You got your armies out there, right? They're your protectors. And you're gonna find that these protectors that you have got no teeth, got no power, nothing in comparison to what they're going to be facing with when the Lord comes with the angels, right? So the only ones really that should be excited are the ones that he's going to save, right? And this is why we're excited to see the return of our Lord, because that means the end of this place, right? And Lord willing, we be of the elect, we're gonna be delivered, man. But even if we're not delivered, right? Even if me personally am not delivered, guess what? It's still the end of this world. And I know there's still a bright future for me in the kingdom of heaven, being an Israelite, right? So it's good for the children of Israel as a point blank period, as a whole nation. It's good for our people, even though a whole bunch of our people are gonna be destroyed because they're wicked too, right? Because they've eaten in or fed into Esau's philosophies, right? They need to be destroyed. But as a whole, in general, it's good for the nation of Israel, because that means what's going to happen is that the righteous are going to be put in rulership, and the righteous is our people, right? As God has promised us, man. Right, so we're excited to see these things. But when the Lord turns up, it's not going to be a happy, kind of day. As the scripture says, the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Okay, so yeah, bro, grab me that, please, from Kushal.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians 1 and 7. And to you who are troubled, rest with us when the Lord Yahweh shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels in flaming fire, taking vengeance on them that know not Most High and that obey not the gospel of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach.
Right, so Yahushua is coming to bring vengeance, right? Contrary to the belief where the Lord is coming to plant out daffodils and flowers and give everybody hugs and give everybody love, because the Lord loves everybody, right? The Lord is coming to bring vengeance, and he's not coming by himself, right? He's coming with an army, an army of angels. Now, from any movie that you've seen, man, the mindset is if someone's coming, foreign invasion, someone's coming with an army. That's something you should be like wary of, right? You should be, panicking, right? You got an outside army coming in. You know, why is he coming with the army? Army's only there for one thing. If you're not protecting your own land, you're attacking someone else's, right? And Esau does a lot of that. He goes around the world with his armies, and what does he do? He don't protect nobody. He goes in and destroys them, right? So Yahushua's coming with an army to do what with? To destroy the armies of the world, to break their teeth, right? So that you got no might to stand against him. Not that you can anyway, but it's a point to make. The Most High likes making points, right? He likes demonstrating his power. He likes showing you how feeble you are, how feeble we are in the might of his glory, man. He likes doing that. Now you can call that whatever you want, narcissistic, whatever that this world want to call these things, man. But at the end of the day, the Most High is the Most High. He gets to do what the hell he wants to do, and we're nothing but worms in his sight. So it's a pointless argument to start making because you got no other options, right? That's just what I'm saying. So whatever these terms people want to label with, whatever in it. But at the end of the day, the Most High gets to do what he wants with his power. The fact that our existence, even we exist, is part of the Lord's desire. So it's whatever, man. It's not like you got, I'm going to choose not to do. Well, you can't choose not to do that because the Lord will just destroy you. So you got to do. You got to be in line. You know what I'm saying?
So Romans 9 and the 15. For he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy.
Right. So the Most High gets to pick and choose. Like people like to pick and choose. This is the thing that we do, right? The Most High gets to pick and choose too. Right? The Lord doesn't have to love everybody. Just because he created them, don't mean you have to love them. And that's perfectly clear in the scriptures, man. The Lord's never really cared about the heathen, and he even goes as far as to hate Esau. Right? But he loved Jacob. So he gets to pick and choose what he wants to do with certain people. And for whatever his purpose is, he gets to choose that. He's the creator, he gets to decide what he wants to do with what he's created. It's simple, right? Go on,
I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not of him that wills, nor of him that learneth, but of Most High that showeth mercy.
Right? So it's all down to the Most High's will. Right? Some might say that's unfair. Well, that's just too bad for some people. Right? It happens to be good for us. So we ain't complaining.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's why did Paul say all that? You read the book of Romans. Who is it written to? The Romans. Now, who were the Romans? Well, it wasn't written to Edomite Romans or Rome, because Rome was a metropolis. So you had different biblical nationalities that had citizenry in Rome. Specifically, who was the church in Rome? Get Romans 1-on-1 real quick. The Israelites. Right? Now, what was the issue that was happening during that time? You had the so-called Gentiles that Paul was teaching that were coming into the fold, right? Then you had the Jews in Judea, the ones that were part of the Commonwealth, and it was a clash. Because guess what? When the Lord came, many of the Jews that were in Jerusalem rejected him. But many of those who were outside of that received him. And people couldn't comprehend that. Like, hold on, how can this guy over here that's been wearing the fringes his whole life, he's kept every Passover his whole life, he's kept the Day of Atonement, he's kept all the high holy days and feast days, you know what I mean? He knows all the history. His forefathers fought and died for the covenant during the time of the Maccabees. They've just had if you read the Maccabees, it's literally the children, the Israelites that were dwelling in Judea, their forefathers were straight dying and killing to hold firm to some form of the covenant or the culture. And then you're telling them, listen, you ain't going to make it because you don't believe in Yahweh Shai. You're going to be destroyed. But this dude over here, that's been busting a toga his whole life, eating every animal under the sun, ain't never kept the Passover, didn't care to keep the Passover, wasn't concerned about the Most High or nothing like that. Man's been worshiping Zeus. Now you're saying they can make it? Well, yeah, because it's by election. It's not by works.
So these might not be offensive, man. They were offended. They're like, what the hell are you talking about? So they obviously were upset with Paul and the disciples. They were just upset with them,
And that's why if you read Romans 9 through to 10 through to 11, it's addressing that. And then so in Romans 9, that's why he gives the different levels of election, because you have election among the nations, where the Lord elected a chosen nation to be that special people. That goes back into Genesis, 17th chapter, beginning with Abraham. It says, I choose your seed and your seed after you. We know that went down to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But hold on, wait. There's another level of election, because even among the elected nation of people, which that elected nation, what did Isaac do to be of the chosen seed? He was born. He said, listen, he was of the promise. I promise. Isaac was a promised seed, meaning the moment he was born into that privilege. And that's why I always speak about there's nothing wrong with privilege. I know you J-card, oh, white privilege. Listen, there's nothing wrong with privilege. Privilege is a natural thing. Certain people are born with inherited rights that they didn't do nothing to earn. Now you should live up to those rights. You should show yourself worthy of having those rights, but you have them nonetheless. So it's the same thing with Isaac. What about Jacob? What did Jacob do to be chosen? If you read in Romans 9, it says, they hadn't done any good or evil, that the purpose of election might stand. Meaning Esau and Jacob were born, but Esau was born to be, like the prophet saying, to be hated. His story was written. The Lord already hated him before himself. But Jacob was created to be the object of the Lord's love and ultimately the Lord's mercy. Esau wasn't. That's election. So then what does he do? He goes on from Jacob and Esau, and now he starts talking about the reason he's talking about it is because he's talking to them. But look at you. You're of the elect. You're elect of Israel. And it's the same thing. It's not based upon works. It's not of him that willeth or him that runneth, but of the Lord. So you could get a guy that's why this isn't a wickedness competition. Like, oh, okay, I've committed less sins than this guy, so that means I'm going to be saved. This truth ain't really got nothing to do with that. And what proved that was the malefactor that was up on the cross with the Lord. The malefactor, he received mercy of the Lord, but he was a criminal. You were grimy. It doesn't matter. So you could get a guy that's, a so-called, well, in the faith, so to speak, in terms of the covenant, but he don't make it because he don't believe in Yahweh Shai. And you have a guy that wasn't totally going up, could be a murderer, could be whatever, and then he believes and he gets delivered. Why? Because he was elected from the beginning to be of that elect from among the nations. So the Lord, like the prophet's guiding into, the Lord picks and chooses, and it's according to his will. And a lot of people can't grasp that concept. Jacob never earned being the chosen people, because you can't do that. Yeah, go on. That's right. Read that real quick in Romans 1 real quick. That's a good point. That's why you have to understand God don't love everyone. Because if you don't understand it, and you can't understand election, certain people were made to be loved, some people were made to be hate and to be the object of hate and judgment.
The Lord is only he's choosy, man. He's choosy. He's a separatist. He's all these things. He's what do we say, man? A racist. He prefers the race he chose, which was Israel. So he's all these kind of negative connotations that the world has today because of Esau and the way he plays things. But only that's what the Lord is. That's part of his character. And this is what people don't want to accept about the Lord's character, that he's somehow like this.
He shows favoritism.
Yeah, he does. Oh, but you're not meant to love. You're meant to love everybody equally. Why? Why? No one loves anything equally.
Now you can apply the law. See, the only thing that's equal is in the law. Like you can apply the law with equity. But outside of that, you don't have to be equal. You can love one son more than the other.
It's like the law
you can love one wife more than the other. But you have to keep the law.
Yeah. It's like the law say you got favorite flowers. No. How can you have a favorite anything then if the Lord make everything equal?
It's just stupid. Equality is a myth.
Yes, sir.
This is the book of Romans 1:1. Paul, a servant of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, called to be an apostle, separated unto the gospel of Mosiah, which he had promised afore by his prophets in the Holy Scriptures.
Yeah, that's why Paul Camalone said he don't believe it. He don't deal with prophecy. He don't like to. That's why both of Malone don't deal with eschatology. And when he does, he messes himself up. That's why he don't want to go in there. Because once they start having to deal with prophecy, their whole Christianity just bursts into flames. Yeah, the whole Christianity just like it bursts. It capitulates like Arsenal. You get me? Yeah, bottle in it. Yeah, because guess what, man? Like he said, he said, when we say that the Israelites, they've been us going into captivity on the cargo slave ships, we say that's prophecy, right? He said, oh, that already happened. Then in his breakdown video explaining how it already happened, he said it happened twice already. So he destroyed his own premise.
If it did, then it can happen
So
again.
then you're saying that it can happen multiple times, but it just can't happen.
That at that specific point, it can't happen then.
You see how the thing said? He can't deal with it. He can't go into the prophecy of Edom because then he's gonna have to explain if he's saying that Edom has already been destroyed. Then how does Isaiah 63, which even the scholars say Isaiah 63 is the same thing talking about in Revelation because it's talking about the garment red.
I've got that coming here.
Yeah, right. Then it says Edom. He's coming to destroy Edom. Well, how can he be coming to destroy Edom if Edom's already destroyed? That's why they don't want to deal with prophecy.
How can Esau be the end of the world? And Jacob the beginning of the followers.
You don't want to deal with prophecy.
This isn't Jacob's world. This isn't the world of righteousness that we're promised. Because it's the whole world thing that's supposed to be under righteousness, under the vibration of righteousness. This world ain't under that. That's why there's still death and war and stuff going on. There's no peace in the earth. So it can't be this time yet.
They're scum, man, and he ain't criticizing. The worst thing about these guys that's coming up against the Hebrew Israelites is where's all that energy for the Zionists? Because the whole Zionist agenda is based upon, well, they're the Israelites, so they have inherited rights to the land of Israel. So based upon that, they can kill thousands and thousands of people that actually was living there before them. They could kill people. No, they could actually take flipping tanks and guns and kill men, women, and children off the back of where the Israelites are. That's our land. Then they're over there in the land, pedophilia, right, child trafficking, every form of illicit and black market runs through that place. No scrutiny, not even a little bit of scrutiny they will put on them people. But we come out here with Bibles, we ain't shooting no one. Even the dudes that's running around with guns ain't shooting no one. But we get all the scrutiny. Oh, we're the worst. We're the worst thing. We're just evil. We're just the worst. Like, you guys, you're not the Israelites. Oh, like you fart. Let's say you fart in an elevator, like these men will be onto you. Like, you know what I mean? But these guys can commit genocide and shoot up people, beat up old women, and it's cool. Go on, let's finish it. You got scriptures that you
Romans 1 and 2
say it. But yeah, Vocab admitted he don't really deal with the prophecies, man, because he don't need to. They already established their Christianity agenda, and the status quo is enough to just carry on and ride that into the sunset. And that's what they really are defending: the status quo, the system of so-called white supremacy, where they're comfortable in. He doesn't want to. We're rocking the boat, and he don't want the boat rocked. He just wants you to shut up, yeah, love Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like, go to church on Sunday, sing a set of hymns,
their doctrine,
yeah, and let them Edomites get on with what they're doing.
Romans 1 and 3, concerning his son Yahushua Mashiach, our Lord, which was made of the seed of David,
through Joseph, right? Because Yahushua's father on earth is Joseph, and Mary said that. Mary said, "Your father and I have been looking for you." They even said, "Is this man's not father Joseph and his mother Mary?"
That we know.
Because he said, guess what, man? For you people who are slow of mind, if Joseph wasn't his father, he wouldn't have been allowed in the temple, because where's the record? Who is this guy? That's why it's written in the scriptures in Hebrews 7:14. It says it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah. What the word evident means openly known to everyone, because Yahushua's records and his lineage
was known just like everyone else. And what is his lineage? He's of the house of David through Joseph, because your lineage, according to biblical doctrine, yeah, is according to your father's house, and not to your mother. This ain't like now in this goofy world where you got stepdads and all this foolishness going on. That ain't it, man. So he couldn't be coming into the temple like, who's your dad? Oh, well, you know, like, the Most High is my dad. Like, but yeah, but who's your dad though? Oh, well, I ain't, you know, I don't know what. That ain't your dad. So who's your dad? Then how do we know? Well, what are you doing here? Anyone can just roll up.
And I can run up to Jerry Springer and find that.
Yeah, I've got to do a DNA test. Nah, it don't work like that. Yeah, that was never, if you notice in the scriptures, that was never a point of contention. That would be the first, listen, that would be the first point of contention. The minute them Pharisees wanted to buck up on him, yeah, the first thing they would have said was, bro, you're not even an Israelite. And he would have been like, okay, who's your father? Where's your lineage? Where's your records? Case closed. There wouldn't even have been an argument to have.
Yeah, the easiest.
But they couldn't say nothing because they knew, okay, his father, you know, they dedicated him at the temple. They know, like, yeah,
Nazareth, and
they know who he is, man. That's why they had to go around the thing, try and make up shit. They never accused him of being the child of adultery. That would have been the first yeah, they're like, how could the Messiah be a child of adultery? You know what the scriptures say about the children of adultery, right? Go on.
According to the fresh and declared to be the Son of Most High with power, according to the Spirit of holiness, by the resurrection from the dead, by whom we have received grace and apostleship for obedience to the faith among the all nations for his name, among whom are ye also be called, are ye also the called of Yahushua Mashiach.
The called of now, what the scripture tells you in Isaiah, what was it, 43rd chapter, that the called of the Lord is Jacob. They're called because they were Israelites, but there was that contention back then. It's like, well, like, these guys are coming into the fold. They're coming, you're letting them guys back in, and then you're rejecting us when we've been holding it down. If anybody is the remnant that the Lord's going to save, surely he's going to be the fringe wearers. It's not going to be the toga guys. But that's because, hey, the Lord is not a respecter of persons, man. He has an elect, you know, that he is chosen. He is chosen. That's why it's written, I have chosen you, you have not chosen me. And that's why Yahweh Shai was a sacrifice for sins. How many sins can you say? How many years it takes? There ain't no limit on the sin that the Lord forgives. It tells you that in the scripture that
all sin.
Yeah, all sin is forgivable except for the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. So a guy can be like a murderer or whatever. You can't say that that man can't repent, because he can repent. You know, oh, he's a murderer, he's a double murderer. He can't. Nah, that's not really this. The power of the blood of the Lord is in repentance, because we all need to repent. All have sinned and come short. So it's not, that's why you can't be holier than thou. Oh yeah, brother, I never did that, but you did it. Okay, but if the Lord counts sin, no man can stand anyway. So what you're comparing yourself to another man, compare yourself to Yahweh Shai and see how you measure up. You know, you get niggas like that. Oh yeah, I never ate pork even when I was in the world.
We'll fall short, you know, the glory, man. So
yeah, man,
no man can boast.
You can't boast in the law. No, exactly. Even Paul said that, and he was Pharisees of the Pharisees. You can't boast in it.
But even Paul was responsible for a lot of disciples' death, man. You know, so he had that on his tab. We've got shit on our tab. You know? Yep.
Yeah, that's it on that. What scripture you wanted next?
You get first lesson again. Do that again. Yeah.
Okay. It's the book of Ephesians 2:11. Wherefore, remember that ye being in time past Gentile in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands, that at that time ye were without a Mashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel.
Yeah, what's that talking about, man? And that's why we break it down. They were aliens and from the commonwealth. These were outcasts. That's why the scripture The Lord shall gather again the outcasts of Israel. A lot of these dudes didn't know they were Israelites. They didn't consider it. They were aliens. They were outcasts from the Commonwealth. They weren't a part of the Judean structure. They were just out there Hellenized in the world, like being Athenians, being Cappadocians and whatever they were being, man, until the Lord came and preached the gospel and opened their hearts, and they were found as lost sheep. Just like us today, we didn't know that we were Israelites until you heard the word, and then you understood through the Spirit. It's no different. Yeah, I am found of them who sought me not. That's what the scriptures say.
That's what you say about our spirit bear witness, or the spirit bear witness with our spirit that we're the sons of God. It's just a resonation that happens, man. You just come to the conclusion that, right, that's right.
Well, the Lord give you that special gift of faith, the ears to hear and the eyes to see, and draw you in, sift the house of Israel from among all nations. And that's another thing that people like vocab can't. That totally messes them up. Oh, it's too spooky for them, because they don't believe in a higher power.
Don't we believe in the
They
spirit?
believe in man. So it's like, well, how do you know? Listen, it's not for me to know, really. It's just for me to preach. Why is it? It's not for me to know. I'm not running this show. You think I'm controlling the chariots, but I don't control none of that. When people are getting beamed up in the chariots, you think I'm there with a checkboard. Yep. No, it ain't nothing to do with me. I'm just here to teach the word, and who can receive it can receive it. The Lord knows everyone that is his, and what the scriptures say, like, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. So it's the Lord is going to make sure that everyone that's meant to receive this word and that's meant to repent, they're going to receive it, no matter what they look like, whatever language they speak, because if they're of the elect, the Lord is his work, and he's a perfectionist. Okay. But vocab, how do you know? It's not about us. That's what you think, because you're carnal.
And strangers from the covenant of promise, having no hope and without moisture in the world.
Right, you got no hope. Like you Negroes, you really never had no hope, because Christianity didn't have no hope for you. The hope of Christianity was dying. The hope of Christianity was dying. That was your hope, that when you die you go to heaven. That ain't really no hope. What hope did you have in this world? That the so-called white man would love you, that the so-called white man would have a change of heart. This man ain't had no change of heart. Consistently he's shown that when he giving you one thing with the right hand, he taking away two things with the left hand. The man's the ultimate shell game artist. He's the ultimate at making it look like he's doing something, but he really ain't doing nothing. That's the legacy of our people in the system underneath the so-called white man. There ain't no hope in this world for the so-called black man if it ain't outside of these scriptures. What you gonna have hope in? Barack Obama. That man were hoping in the political system. Yeah, oh my, niggas is crying. Niggas sounding like Scooby-Doo.
They still fucking crying.
Niggas is crying. Oh, Obama. What did Obama do for you? Obama was another shell game, another psyop. That's all Esau does. There ain't no hope for us outside of these scriptures, man. You out there in the world, you don't have no hope, man. You're just lost. You're done. Until you find out, okay, I'm of the seed of Abraham. Then you have hope. You have a real hope, because now you got a real understanding of a real promise according to a true living power. That can't be found no other way. Because the promises, the scripture tells you that the Most High is not a man that he should lie, for one, right? So shall my word be like what? As the rain that cometh down, it shall not return to me void. So we could bank. That's a true hope. We could bank on what the Lord promised to us. But if you're out there and you're just lost and you believe in politics or you believe in the Black Panthers, you ain't got no hope. What hope do you have? You have false hope. Niggas believing in Joe Biden. Oh, can't let Trump get in. You fools, man. You know what I mean? Go on.
But now in Yahweh Mashiach, ye whom sometimes were far off are made nigh by the blood of our Mashiach.
You sometimes, why were they afar off? They were far off literally because they were scattered, but they were far off spiritually because they were separated from the commonwealth, man, because they were out there like lost sheep. But now through Yahweh Shai, they can be brought back, and that's talking about Israelites, man. That ain't talking about the other nations, man.
So I was for strangers, man, because you didn't know shit. Those that were scattered didn't know nothing about what was going on in Judea, what they, you know, what they were part of.
Well, they weren't looking for a Messiah. Who was sitting there waiting for the consolation of Israel? The Jews in Jerusalem. They were waiting for a Messiah. The Israelites that were scattered. Why would you make a Messiah when you don't even recognize you're an Israelite? They got learned of the Messiah through Paul and them, and that's when they believed. Oh yeah, just like us, because Jesus ain't coming to save you, Negroes, man.
Yeah, this is what I was saying, man. You know, you people don't actually have any superheroes to defend you when the Lord returns.
Bro, according to Christianity, you got to die.
It's the only way.
Meanwhile, Esau's just living his life, man, doing his thing, conquering. He ain't got to die.
Yeah, he's living it up.
He could do what he want to do. No, you got to die. You gotta go church and sing them Negro spirituals and die to make it into the kingdom of heaven, where they could just live in the Hamptons. They could just live in their suburban neighborhood and enjoy themselves. They could live their life. You gotta die for their life. They sacrificed you so-called Negroes so they could live heaven on earth. Meanwhile, you got to die. That is the doctrine of Christianity, man. There ain't nobody coming to save you. Let's be real. Ain't nobody looking for no Jesus to come back. They don't believe that. They believe, what do they really believe? When you die, every time there's a funeral, he's gone to heaven or hell. That is what their doctrine is, really.
That's the pinnacle there. That's the goal right there.
Remember, there was a thing where I said everybody want to go heaven, but nobody want dead. Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? Bullshit, man. We're not saying that our doctrine isn't based on dying. Our doctrine literally is based upon our Lord coming back for real. That is the focus. You'll never hear us talking about dying and going to heaven. Show me the Israelite that their main focus is like, what are you gonna do, brother, when you die? Where are you gonna go? I ain't never heard of a brother, if you die, do you recognize the Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? Because if you die, you might go to hell. Oh, don't you want to go to heaven when you die? They don't care about when the Lord returns, man. They're not looking for no, come on, man. They ain't about that, man. We're the ones saying, listen, the Lord's going to come back. The Lord's going to come back. The Lord's going to come back and deliver us. We're more in line with what the scriptures is talking about, man. Bitch ass niggas, man. Christianity is a joke, man. Go on, let's carry on.
For he is our peace, who has made both one and has broken.
Why does it say he is our peace? Because the Lord, the scripture tells you in Leviticus 26 chapter that if we were to walk, the Lord said if we do everything, the tabernacle of the Lord will dwell amongst us. But he said if we go against the covenant and walk contrary unto him, he will walk contrary unto us, which is what? Enmity. And how does that enmity represent itself? The curses, Deuteronomy 28 from the 15th verse to the 68th verse. That's the enmity of the Lord. That's the Lord putting the whooping. Who was it? Isaiah 42, who gave Jacob for a spoil? Was it not the Lord whom against we sinned? So what is Yahweh Shai coming to do? Is to bring back peace between who? Between the Most High and his children, the Most High and his people. That's the peace. It ain't talking about peace in general, even though ultimately it is going to be peace overall. The foundation of that peace is we're going to be at peace with the Most High, meaning the Lord is going to bless us instead of cursing us. Right? Now the goofy Christians don't understand that. They're the ultimate warmongers, so we know Christianity ain't bringing no peace. Them man are the ultimate gun toters, man. These men have had so many wars, they got more memorials than hospitals, man. That's how bad the thing's down bad, man. They got these Christians sent man out there into the trench. Who was I talking about that with the other day? Oh, talking with my IO the other day, and we were talking about the trench warfare that them Christians set up in Europe, man. And they were just sending young man after young man over the top to get cut down by a machine gun fire and to die unceremoniously actually in a piece of land not so dissimilar to this. And if you said, nah, man, I just seen 200 man go over the top, they ain't come back. Like, you're like, nah, man, I don't think it's a good idea. Man will shoot you in the head right there and then. Young man, you could be 18, you could be 19, your whole life ahead of you. He's will put a gun to your head. Hey, good Christian boy, get over there with this rifle and get cut down by machine gun fire. Don't worry about it. God save the Queen. That's these Christians, man. And now they want to school us on the Bible. Now these Christians are going to teach us about biblical values when these men are the biggest warmongers and torturers that the world has ever seen. Wow.
Red horse.
The red horse, man. Esau just mastered the art of warfare. They spend more money on warfare than anything else. They spend more money on warfare than education, healthcare.
Has broken down the middle wall of partition between us, having abolished in his flesh the enmity, even the law of commandments contained in ordinance, for to make in himself of 21 new man, so make for to make in himself of 21 new man, so making peace, and that he might reconcile both unto Most High.
Reconcile means to bring back to peace. Now, how can the Lord be bringing actual heathens back to peace with him when the Lord ain't never been dealing with them? So the both sides is talking about the Jews that were in Jerusalem and then the Israelites that were scattered abroad, the foreigners. It can't be talking about the heathen because the Lord weren't ever dealing with them heathens, man. You got to show me precedent for that. Even when we went into Canaan, the Lord said, yeah, go into Canaan and preach the gospel to them, man, and try to turn them, man, from their Canaanite ways. The Lord said, yo, hold this sword, yeah, and go and chop this bears down in it. Did the Lord tell David, you know what, yeah, see these nations that's round about you, I need you to go evangelize to these Moabites. Nah, he said, listen, hold your side here, and if that man violate rightful behavior.
Okay, so Amos 3:2 says, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for your iniquities. Right? So like brother just said, like the Lord never announced himself to no other nation to try and give them the right way and all this kind of business. No, it was us for us to get the right way. And we went off that path. And we're having to be brought back because we're the Lord's chosen people. We have to fulfill what the Lord intended for us, man. It wasn't intended for the other nations to take up in our stead, all this replacement theology stuff that certain Christians teach, right? No, the Lord is still with his people, but we have to be brought back to receive the new covenant. Because we'll be under the new covenant, pursuant to Hebrews 8.
Which, by the way, replacement theology is anti-Semitic. So if YouTube wanna
yes, it is.
Go check out Vocab Malone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you see how it works.
Go hassle, man.
Yeah, but you see how it works. Oh boy.
And that he might reconcile both unto Most High in one body by the cross, having slain the enmity thereby.
That's right. All right. Brought peace between us and the Most High, and between all the varying Israelites that were divided, man.
Yeah. Read verse 7 again, bro.
The 2 Thessalonians 1:7. Unto you who are troubled, rest with us when the Lord Yahweh shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels in the flaming fire, taking vengeance on them that know not Most High, and that obey not the gospel of our Lord Yahweh Mashiach.
Right, so like I said, when Yahweh returns, man, he ain't gonna be the world's hero. He's really the villain to this world, right? These people are gonna look at him and say, oh, like every movie you see, they're gonna treat him like he's a threat.
Well, he's a misogynist according to the world. Because misogyny is if you believe in any sort of form of like traditional values, right? Then that's classed as misogyny, which biblical values. Then the Bible is misogynist according to them. According to them.
Well, this is what I was gonna say, man. Because the reason why he's an enemy or why he's a supervillain, right, is because he's coming to destroy your way of life, how it is right now. The same reason why they hated the Lord, because he was coming to upset everything that was going on back then. You know, the world don't like change. Not really, right? People don't like change, right? And when someone's so invested in this, well, they want to keep the status quo. Like all these men do, you just be speaking about. They want to keep the status quo. When you got a threat coming from an army from heaven, right, coming to change everything, man, you people are gonna fight. You're gonna resist, not fight. You're gonna resist, right? You're gonna fight. You're gonna resist or try to resist, right? And that's why Lord Himself, when like in these movies, Yahushua is more like Thanos than he is Superman or Iron Man or these quote unquote good guys, right? He's more like the villain of all these stories than he is the good guys. For you, for the world, but for us, he's like the greatest.
That's how it always is. One man's hero.
No man's villain. That's right. That's exactly right.
Put hell on them other nations.
Yeah,
and I'm sure
they hated him.
They didn't like it.
They hated him.
You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. That's how it's gonna be. Because first of all, even of his own people, you're traitors, man. You fucking you treason. Got you Negroes, and you know what's the ultimate? Let me say it's. You know what the ultimate treason is? When you take that mark of the beast, that's treason. That's high treason. And you know treason is punishable by death. You're the ultimate traitor. Idolatry is high treason.
The painful death shall come,
and that's gonna come because these Jake ain't with us, man.
Yeah.
Jake is a bunch of freaks, and batty man, a bunch of batty man and lesbians, and they're out of order. They're carnal. They don't have no morals. The only thing that Jake really respects is money and violence. They're disgusting creatures, man. That's the truth. And that's talking about our own people, man and woman, man. Their mindset is extremely disturbing. Extremely disturbing. They've gone way further and further away from the way of truth, man. Every fucking day. Be a batty man about There's enough of these men are getting pegged by their woman. They're going and buying strap-ons and getting pressed by their woman. And now I'm talking about Jake. They ain't right, man. So the Lord have to just destroy them. Simple as that. You get vexed, man. You know when you get around Jake certain time, man, you get vexed, bro. You get vexed because Jake ain't right, man. Jake on some bullshit, man. So how you think the Lord feels? So the Lord come back, he must just cleanse them, man, out of the nation. And then when the other nations, come on, man, they done been violated. They have to face the consequences for their actions, man. Because every action, one thing we do know about the universe, which is natural law, is every action has a reaction. This is what we do know. Cause and effect. So these other nations, beginning with Esau, they've violated, they've put the forces out of balance. The universe is not balanced.
Or to turn the things upside down.
Justice brings balance. That's what justice is. So what they call it, right the wrong. You right the wrong with an equal and righteous measure of right. And it has to be equal. Because if it ain't equal, it don't feel right. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't feel like it's balanced. Like, there's such a thing as going over the top. And that's why there's laws where if you do a certain thing, you might get lashes. You might get, now Esau with his Jim Crow was going on a mad one. But there's certain things a man can get lashes for. There's certain things a man will pay a penalty for that's in line with what they've done. Yeah? Then there's certain things according to the law where that's it. The man's life's forfeit. That's the one and only righteous judgment. Like in the law, like you couldn't pay a man, it could be a rich man. Let's say you're a rich man and you pop a man's wife, but man ain't really supposed to take money for that. Because the violation you've done is beyond money now. There ain't no money that you could accept for that. Or if a man come and he kill your son, and that's how it is in this world. In this world, Esau will set up a corporation, fucking do some bullshit, kill about 1 million children, and they do a class action lawsuit, and they might fine the company or some shit. Are you gonna fine man for the death of your child, man?
They're still running,
and then man are still running around doing their thing, and then it don't feel right. Like, man gave me, I got a couple million, but if someone had asked you before, like, couple million or your son or your daughter, you wouldn't have took it.
Well, it's
It's
like
not right.
it's like some of these pharmaceutical companies, right? They can't what they do, they cost that in
Yeah.
harm. They cost harm
that in.
in, right? So they're still making profit. They know they are, but they got money set aside for all these lawsuits and that come to be, right? So they can pay them out. That's not right. There's no justice really been done there. You ain't harmed them.
Whoever's responsible should be getting death. But you know, this is the point. Justice has to be measured, innit? And when it's not measured, you don't feel right. Right? So when the law comes back, he's bringing justice. Justice is represented by a scale. So Esau, for everything he's done to our people, that has to be balanced. That don't mean tickling him and laughing and joking. That means he got to suffer so that the scales and the balance is restored to the universe, man. And why is it they can't understand that? Oh, you guys hate. No, it's justice.
It's not that they can't. They don't want to understand that, man, because the cost is great. It's great. You know what you've done. You know what should come your way to balance things out. But you want to find some other way. But because you're in power, you get to say what that way is, isn't it? But when that power's been taken away from you, you ain't got to say. We ain't got to wait upon you. We're waiting upon the Lord.
They want to talk about reparations now. Like you're gonna print some FRNs in a system that you created that you'll find a way to get them FRNs back anyway. And even though you're giving man the FRNs are devalued as you've created them. And it's a bit of a slap in the face, man. Like rape your grandmother, rape your grandfather, just robs everything you have, then goes on a computer and does and just give you that. Like, nah, Rasta, it can't work. It can't work.
Yeah.
It's a violation.
All this talk about reparation don't mean shit, man. Like, how much they gonna give you? Bro, how is it fucking expensive, bro?
Yeah.
How you ain't got, like, they ain't gonna give you so much as you can just go and buy your 40 acres. You know how much that is?
But it's gone beyond that. Listen, it's gone.
As I say, you couldn't do it anyway.
Listen, your judgment has gone beyond money, man. There comes a point where it's not money no more.
That's a cop out.
Like, you ever watch that movie? Watch the movie Sicario. It's a bad man film. The scene at the end when Del Toro rolls up to the guy, and the guy knew he was dead. The wife knew they were dead because he's sitting there. I don't know if you've seen the film. He's sitting there now, and you got the strap. My man's eating dinner with his wife and his two sons. All this time, my man killed Del Toro's wife and his daughter, melted the daughter down, beheaded them, melted the daughter down in a bathtub pan. Yeah, and then he's gone. The guy goes, "Oh, I killed your wife and your daughter, but it was just business." Bro, when the wife heard that, she put her head down because she already knew. Listen, you can't pay this man off. You just murked. What money could you give a man after you've murked off his wife and his daughter in such a manner? Like the poor man clapped the wife and the two sons in front of him, bro. Then clapped him. You know why he did that? Because it was the only thing he could feel that could balance what has happened to him. It had to measure up. It's true, man. You can't accept money for certain things. Esau did too much to just be, oh, I'm gonna pay you off. Everything ain't about money, man. Walk in and a man splitting your wife into, oh yeah, like, hey, hold this 50 grand, just hold that and forget about it. Man. Everything ain't about money, man. But that's Jake for you. Jake thinks money is everything. We gonna get the money anyway. But go on up.
Revelation 13:9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that lead us into captivity shall go into captivity.
That's what the Lord demands. Forget about what we want for a minute. Listen, forget about how we feel about the situation, right? The Lord demands this. This is what that's the judgment he set up. Deal with that.
And then man, you got GOCC try to make it sound like it's gonna be like working at McDonald's type slavery. No, it's not. It's gonna be the same, if not worse, man, because it has to.
Even burgers getting pressed in the kingdom.
Bro, them man are gonna have them rusty chains, same way. They're gonna get whipped up. They're gonna be getting working, yeah, with minimum human rights, man. Minimum human rights, subhuman rights. That's what them man are gonna have. You better believe that. They're gonna experience slave ships because we're gonna be shipping them. We ain't gonna ship them around the world in fucking in chariots because I'm gonna still want some rum, man. So I'm on the islands and that got the sugar cane. We're gonna put them on the sugar cane plantation. See how they like that Caribbean. See that? No, but they love it though. Yeah, I just come back from Barbados. Yeah, don't worry, you're gonna go back to Barbados, isn't it? You're gonna have an all expensive place, all inclusive trip to Barbados. So you're gonna be on the same plantations, cutting down that sugar cane 24/7, because me and this brother here and this brother here, we like the rum. We got a taste for the rum. You like the rum? I like the rum, but I ain't going out there to pick no fucking sugar cane.
Yeah, them Bacardi man and
Yeah,
them Bacardi devils, man.
ain't nothing wrong with the rum. The rum is righteous, so they're gonna be over there in the Caribbean. How they gonna get there? What, you think we're gonna put them on a fucking first class flight or one of them Caribbean cruises they take? They got some fucking nerve. These devils doing luxury cruises to Ghana. They got cruises that follow the slave ships. Did you know that? They got cruises, so the cruise goes to Ghana and the Gold Coast, then it cuts across same way the slave ships cut. I had one bitch trying to educate me on slavery, blood, on the phone. I'm like, bitch, yeah, we got the cruise ship. We went to Ghana, and then we went to the Caribbean, and you go to. I'm thinking to myself, man, you went on a cruise ship. Don't worry, you're gonna go on the real ship, and you're gonna understand what it's like to feel seasick and all be cramped into a space. Then you're truly gonna be sorry. Getting dashed overboard and that.
truly authentic.
No cycling as well.
No cycling.
Oh, it's gonna be terrible for them. And it was, well, people were suffering on them plantations because Esau was a god unto himself. A lot of them went mad with power over there on the islands, man. I forgot the name of the guy. I'll remember it later. The slave owner that wrote a detailed diary, and he was just raping all the women. If the women resisted him, they would get punished. He would just totally punish the slaves for any infringement. Any slightest infringement, he would have one slave defecate in another slave's mouth. Cover people in medieval, cover people in honey, have the flies and all that come at them. He was doing everything, man, because on that island he was God. No one can say this or that, man. So Esau got a lot to pay for. So when they go into slavery, we're not going to be treating them like McDonald's employee, yeah, like McDonald's employees, man, with the employment rights and that, man.
No contracts in the night.
They're gonna be uncomfortable.
Extremely.
Uncomfortable, under anxiety, in fear of their life, in fear, under fear at all times. They're gonna be skittish as fuck.
Yeah, but then you need to think about what does it mean to rule over the rod of iron? What does that really mean? It means it ain't gonna be nice. It's not nice.
We're not gonna be here. We're not
gonna treat you
negotiating.
nicely. You know, because you're under punishment. You're under judgment.
You don't eat what we say to eat when we tell you to eat. It's like in prison. They tell you when to wake up. They tell you when to eat. They tell you how much sleep you're gonna have. They tell you how much work you need to be doing. You gotta meet that quota, and if you don't meet that quota or the quality that we want from you, then you know you're gonna have to face the punishments, man. And we're gonna get creative with it.
He that kills with a sword must be killed with a sword.
Exactly. And Yahushua gonna be starting off that killing, but the killing ain't gonna end there. You Edomites have got a lot to pay for. The Native American Indians, down to our brothers all over South and Central America, Jake all over the world. You Edomites have slain so much blood over the years, man. It's all gonna have to come back to you, man. And our blood is worth more than your blood, so it's gonna be a lot of Edomite blood that's gonna be spilled.
Well, I was gonna say this as well, man, because the world has kind of popularized that saying that two wrongs don't make a right. But that's not bollocks, man. You know, it only don't work when it's done in wickedness, unjustly. But when we're talking about justice, we're talking about righteousness here, man. Yeah, those evils can make that right. You know, that payback because we're reading it. The Lord believes in it.
This is even hypocrites because every Arnold Schwarzenegger, every action movie in the 80s and the 90s was all about wrongs making it right.
When they got a new one, right? I see a trailer for it yesterday, right? Sisu.
Oh yeah.
They're kind of mad. It's like a Tarantino type movie, but you know, the guy goes over it's Nazis, so it's like you can kill Nazis, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Because they're the devil.
Yeah, right. But no, vengeance is a thing. And everyone applauds the vengeance, man. They respect that the man got he got satisfied at the end. Yeah, he satisfied his anger, his vengeance. He got his justice. Everyone respects that. But when it's upon you, nah, we don't want to deal with that.
Yeah,
that's barbaric. You know, I know we did that, but you know, we've come a long way since then, right? We're better people now. So it's forgive us.
It don't matter, man.
Yeah, the Lord don't see it that way.
It don't matter, man. That's why the Most High has it where all these, you ever notice these ex-gang members, they always end up getting shot, man, and killed, and rightfully so.
They live that life.
Niggas wanna find the Lord after they done killed all these niggas and wanna live their life. Yo, all of the family members of all them people you killed, they ain't fucking forget that shit. And when they catch your ass slipping, they put 2 bullets in your forehead, and that's gonna be the end of you. You're gonna have to face the consequences for the fucking shit that you sold, man. And rightfully so, because you ain't really repented, man. You just want trying to use that as a way to on the way out, man. Oh, I changed my life. Nah, buddy, you ain't changed. Niggas catch up with them, and Most High bring that judgment on you. Because if you really repented, the Lord would have had mercy on you. It happens all the time. Dudes will drop body after body after body. What do you think is gonna happen when that man catch you up? Do they care? Well, you know, I work in Walmart now. What the fuck? I'm not on the streets no more, man. Don't give a fuck about all that. You done too much, but now you got to pay.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Right, and that's a beautiful line. The patience and the faith. Now, if you ask a Christian whether that's their patience and faith, they're gonna say no. But well, how is that possible? The Bible says the saints, that's your patience and faith, because we have to suffer the violation. And it is, when you don't receive justice, it's a form of suffering. That's why a lot of times when it, like, look at the Stephen Lawrence thing, the man got divorced. Yeah. Why did they get divorced? Because the strain, the stress, and the pain, man, it fucked up the whole family, because
it fucks you up as a person. It fucks your relationships and whatever.
When you've been wronged, it hurts. It does. It's a pain. Like,
it's part of you that are missing,
and you have to suffer it. You have to suffer it, man. When someone do you wrong, like when all the way through hardcore slavery, if the master took your children and sold them on, man, what could you do? That's a suffering. There was no might in your hand. Yep. So you just got to bite down. You have to eat it. That's a form of patience.
And that's the curses in Deuteronomy 28. You see?
But it says patience and faith, because what's faith? The substance of things not seen. Because it's impossible to imagine us being in that supreme state, man. That's impossible. That's why people used to walk past the camp all the time and laugh, man. You know, the idea that the so-called Negro, Hispanic, and Native American Indian would rule the world and put Esau in slavery is a joke to most people. Why? Because through the carnal mind and the carnal eye, that's an impossibility, because the so-called Negro, Hispanic, and Native American Indian can't even fucking run his own household, let alone fucking how? With what army? With what? If you were to, like, we're completely broken and destroyed. We can't organize a fucking barbecue without someone on our own team getting clapped up, man. Niggas get together and have a birthday party for their children, and niggas get fucking shot. And I ain't talking about crap. I'm talking about them, their own family members. That's how disjointed and messed up we are. But guess what, man? It's a faith, because it's written in the scriptures, and it's gonna come to pass, that bit. Beginning with 144,000 and the rest of the elect, man. They're gonna come together with power, with Yahweh Shai, and we are going to receive that justice that's written. That we're gonna lead these heathens into captivity, and we're gonna have the opportunity to bloodlet righteously, and we will. Whether you like it or not, oh, you know what, I don't like, that's fine, but you will. You're only saying you wouldn't because guess what? You're not in that time and in that spirit, man. And you don't have that freedom. But what, you feel me? Tell me when you get that freedom, man, we're gonna run them Edomites through like it's nothing, man.
Well, again, in the book of Jeremiah, it speaks about you drinking of that cup. And you can refuse it or try it. The Lord said, you shall surely drink.
Yeah, but don't get it, man.
You know, this is the thing, you're not in a position to say anything. You don't get to choose anything. Right? You're going to submit to whatever punishment is dealt to you, man.
You're down bad.
you know, and it just so happens to be you get put in our hands, which is the worst people that you could ever want to be put in the hands of, man.
Oh, man.
Especially when we have this such rich history together, right? We go way back, you and us, Esau. You know, we go way back. We are the worst people to fall into the hands of, man. You know, because we got a bar to surpass. You set one with us, man, and now we get the opportunity to go beyond that, man. It's like Hellraiser. Got so much strings.
Good things. The point of time was good. It's not like the issue is like it's rushing.
Yeah, we go.
The point of time.
Yeah, we go. Take time.
Yeah, to break you down. We're gonna break you, Edomites, like horses, man. We're gonna break your will, break your rebellious nature. We're really gonna mentally just break you down and have you suffering, man, till you beg man for respect. And rightfully so. All you Karens out there, Edomite women, you're man, your princess days are over once this comes in, man. You're gonna just be like, you ain't gonna want to live. Suicide nets. Go on.
This is the book of Amos 1 and 11. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetual, and he kept his lust forever.
That's right. Esau. So even this thing like with the V to the you know what, man, the jibby jab, yeah. Now they just on the like without like much ceremony coming out and saying, well, you know, like, yeah, it wasn't working. Oh yeah, this, that, and the other. And who did they want to push that on the most? Esau actually came out and ran a campaign saying, oh, you know, we've always been horrible to these so-called black people, so we need to give it to them first. This man is the devil. Now,
they want to prioritize.
Now people are dropping dead left, right, and center, and it's only just begun. Because the thing is with things like that, when it's working its way through the body, it can manifest itself. The body is kind of complicated, so certain things can manifest themselves 1 year, 2 year. It's different for everyone. It's like smoking cigarettes.
It's illness in general, man. You know, decay over time, innit?
Yeah.
All these problems turn up over time. You know, you don't get arthritis from the day it comes over time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it develops. Just like these things do, man. They're developing in the body.
A lot of more cancer's gonna be off the charts. Rapidly growing cancers, man.
Well, what about all the mystery D's, you know?
Oh, the
mystery. They didn't know what. They didn't know.
With the blood clot.
Chronic death.
Yeah, died suddenly, man. That's a trending thing right now.
They couldn't tell. They didn't know what's going on. Sure.
Esau got a lot to pay for, man.
Yep.
And ISUPK got a lot to pay for, man. So they co-signed that. Just like how they're gonna co-sign the chip. Just like IUIC is gonna co-sign the chip.
Yep. You finished that, yeah? They should read this quickly from Jeremiah 25 and verse 20. Verse 27. It says, therefore thou shalt say unto them, thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, drink ye and be drunken and spew and fall and rise no more because of the sword which I will send among you. And it shall be, if they refuse to take the cup at thine hand to drink, then shalt thou say unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, ye shall certainly drink. For lo, I begin to bring evil on the city which is called by my name, and should ye be utterly unpunished. Right? And the Lord don't even care. He's not even like you Edomites, man. But if the Lord put hands on Israel, what do you think he's going to do to you in this short time? You ain't going to refuse that cup. Yeah. Everything we're telling you, man, you're going to have to suffer, man. And it ain't nice. We understand why you're upset. You know, we're the most evilest people on the planet. Well, guess what? You got to contend with the Lord with that, man, because the Lord's going to bring this to you, man. The Lord's bringing this evil upon you, right? It says, for lo, I begin to bring evil on the city which is called by my name, and should ye be utterly unpunished, ye shall not be unpunished, for I will call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth, saith the Lord of hosts.
If Esau didn't get what was coming to him, it'd be a gross misjustice.
Oh.
The universe would collapse in on itself, man. If Esau don't get what's... Listen, this man done too much. Like, even the other day, like, me and brother discussing about, like, even the diet, yeah. Esau, right? At one point, coconut oil was bad for you. because they wanted to promote these other oils that they produce. So coconut oil is bad for you, palm oil was bad for you, even though traditional people have been using them oils for years, palm oil, coconut oil. So Esau done a little study, fake, you know how they do, they pay off a little study to promote their vegetable oils and fake oils, whatever they're selling. Then they turn around and try to tell everybody that fat was making people fat. So you need to have a low fat diet. Fat was making people fat. Right? Then they come with a different diet. Now it turns out actually it was all the sugar that they were putting in everything. So you can't listen to this man. Then he will tell you, oh, you can't eat meat. Meat is evil. Meat is what's fucking you up. So it comes to the point now where you don't know what to eat. It's whatever the corporations want you to buy, they're gonna try and manipulate you one way or the other. This man's a devil, man. He can't be trusted on anything. He's just a liar. He's caused too much damage in the world. Just a simple thing as diet, Esau's confused and messed up for filthy lucre's sake. And who's really suffering off the back of that? The people. Because they're not being given the proper wisdom and understanding of a balanced diet. He just got people out there, and then you go in here and there's got a whole section of gluten-free. Man, fuck all that shit, man. That's all bullshit. Anytime you see Esau pushing some shit and he's got a separate category, you know it's just all bullshit to get more money out of it. And it's probably just garbage. Esau's messed everything up, man. That's why it's a travesty if this man don't get something bad happen to him. The autism now. More and more people are finding out 6 times more likely to have autism if you've had the jib jabs. And I'm not just talking about the latest jib jab, I'm talking about the jib jabs in general. But Esau knows that. And guess who the #1 people that get the autism are? So-called black boys. They're the majority of the people that's getting messed up by these things, man. Right?
Yeah, Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Why is it the people are ultimately going to rejoice when the righteous are in authority? Because ultimately everybody wants a righteousness, man. When you ain't got the righteous, because okay, even if we're going to rule over these nations and we're going to punish them righteously, you might not like getting punished. But the thing is that once you've been punished righteously, then there is no punishment. You would be dealt with accordingly. When you got the righteous in rulership, everything is going to be upfront. Everything is you could take everything at face value when you're dealing with righteous people. Because righteous people speak straight. I'm going to do this. I'm doing this because a righteous rulership isn't greedy, isn't envious, murderous. That's what Esau is. He's a liar. Everything is a scam. So what ends up happening is there's no justice. Everything is a scam. Everything is destructive. So in the end, the people mourn because everything is destroyed. That's why the families are destroyed. Everything is a mess. Every area of life that exists right now is a mess because there's no righteous rulership. It's totally out of order. Going on.
It's from 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 27, right? It says, "For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched."
Deceit. Esau's world is based upon manipulating and lying to the people and getting people to do things which is against their own interest and only in the interest of Esau Edom. But lying to you about it. That's what their politics is all about, manipulating and deceiving and running psychological operations on the people, having a 2-hour speech just to bamboozle you. The righteous would speak for 10 minutes and just tell you straight. Nah, these men have got to glamorize everything and lie and steal. Can't answer a question straight. Man, get in front of Congress, can't answer the question.
Yeah, but that's what Esau is, a professional liar. You know what I'm saying?
Deceiver, man.
He's an old McConnized. That's why he appears to be the angel of light in this world, because he out here pretending to be someone that's righteous. pretending. But he is the wicked. He's the one that's behind all these evil, you know, organizations and agendas that go on in the earth. He's behind all of that.
He's wicked.
But he's gonna tell you, no, but this is this is good for you. You need to be on board with this.
Yeah, man.
You know,
like the OnlyFans thing. Yeah, they started pumping out this OnlyFans thing like it's a psyop, and every now and again you see an advert in the newspaper. Oh, mom that used to work at Starbucks now earns 30K a month doing OnlyFans. And you ever notice it? That article kept popping. You notice that same story kept popping up, and all of that is just marketing to push women to go down an avenue that, just like any other avenue, only a 0.00001% of people get anything out of it, and the rest of the 99.99% of them is just destruction. But they won't run articles about the ones that are destroyed. It's always going to be, oh, the girl that made the 40 grand. Esau's the devil.
It's like the lottery. It could be you.
It's bullshit,
Could
man.
be you. Yeah, there's many people that pay the lottery, man. And you know, these organizations get all this money because you're paying for the tickets, right? So only one person or two people may get something out of that, you know, each week or whatever, whatever it is. But everyone that's spending that money, they get no money.
It's a tax,
and that becomes like a fucking religion to you guys, because every week you're paying for fucking lottery tickets, man, hoping there's gonna be you that you're gonna win. That's the same shit.
It's nothing but a tax. This whole world is deceitful. It's all based upon lies to the point where you can't trust nothing no more, man. You can't be gullible. You see a thing, now you have to analyze like, whoa, is this a psyop? And most of the shit is a psyop. Morant, Jarwick, that's a psyop. That ain't real, man. This guy showing guns, man. Come on, that's all designed to distract the people. Esau run all these games, uses these celebrities to run these games to have the people distracted from what's real. So they have to have these incidents that happen. And when you look at it, it makes sense. It makes no sense. The man flashes a gun. He's all up in the club with a gun. Gets caught. They make a big deal out of it in America, where you fucking guns are legal, man. Right? They make a massive deal out of it. He comes out. They make a big drama. Everyone's buying into it. Has his little press conference. They let him back in. Man loses in the playoffs. Goes into a vehicle on live and flashes a gun again. And you can't see that shit set up. It's set up, man. He's a sacrifice, man. For all this drama. Oh, is he gonna get kicked out of the NBA? Is he not gonna get? It's all drama. Meanwhile, the real shit that's going on, like the fact that now they have to admit that all these jibby jabs are all messed up. No one ain't really paying attention to that. They're paying attention to Morant flashing a gun in America. Like, what the fuck, man? Guns are a part of America. When you go to an NBA game, sometimes they got a section full of fucking veterans, man, saying we support the troops. The troops are rolling with the straps, man. So what's the problem here? How hypocritical is this, man? We don't condone gunfire, but we support the troops. What are the troops using in Iraq? Fucking feather dusters. Fucking me, man. God, man. It's a joke, man.
It's verse 28. So as for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome.
Right. Faith is going to flourish, because the reason people don't really believe, well, really, ultimately, the Most High took it away because it's a special gift. But he uses Esau. Esau has systematically destroyed people's faith in the Bible. And he did that going back to the Bible destruction group, because originally there was no, like, even the realms of science, right, going back into Europe, they all were biblical in their mind, their standpoint. It was all, this is the Lord's creation. The Lord did these things. We're researching what God has created. Then these demons, Esau, like the Lunar Society, all the different Freemasons, the Bavarian Illuminati, these men imprinted themselves into the scientific world, and then they started basically chipping away at people's faith in the Bible. So the first thing they said was, well, the Bible's superstition, but science is real, right? So they started picking things out. Oh, the Bible teaches that the earth is flat, but we know the earth is round, which is bullshit, because the biblical people never believed that the earth was flat. They lied about that. They lied about that. Then they started the evolution thing. Evolution was an attack on the Bible. Darwin was Illuminati, Satan. His grandfather was part of the Lunar Society. They were Satanists. It was all pre-planned. We're going to use evolution to destroy people's belief in the Bible, because you can't believe in the Bible and evolution at the same time. But we're going to teach evolution as scientific fact. So if you believe evolution is scientific fact, then how then can you believe in the Bible? Because the two can't exist. So the Bible is religion, but this is science. That's all to destroy people's faith in the Bible. Then they got the George Cuvier. Charles Lyell had written a book, The Principles of Geology, where he supposed that all the large structures we see in the world were formed over millions of years rather than over a small amount of time. Again, what were they attacking? The Bible. And so they ran with that as the dominant geographical theory. But then you can't believe in the principles of geology and still believe in the Bible, because the Bible doesn't speak of millions of years. But now everyone just, for that millions of years is just true, right? Who has promoted the ideology that billions of years ago, millions of years ago, who has made that so ingrained in the psyche of the people that everybody thinks is real?
David
It's not
Attenborough.
real. David Attenborough, yeah.
He got a new series coming out.
Oh, that devil ain't dead
I
yet,
saw
man.
it. Yeah, I see it. I was like, fuck
I
off,
hope
man.
he goes out like Steve Irwin, man. Why can't he ever go fucking
Get
look
him-
up some dangerous
Get
things?
even one of the dinosaurs.
Yeah, man, just some monkey just rip his face off, man. Fucking devil. But that's what I'm saying. Like that, the scientific community, right, is infiltrated by witches and warlocks, and they've used false science and the media pushing that false science in order to reduce people's faith in the Bible. So when you say you believe in the Bible, people look at you like you're crazy. Like, why could you be? It's not a history book. It's a fairy tale. It's superstition. It's religion. But then you pull out a Charles Darwin book. Oh, that's science. That's fact. No, it's not fact.
Well, they said they kind of moved away from what they call empirical science. I think
Yeah, empirical science.
things you can
You're
actually
right.
measure, because you can see it and observe. They started going into the realm of fantasy, right? The realm of fantasy, and they created another faith out of it, another religion, so to speak, right? Because you have to believe in what the man are saying, because you can't observe none of these things that they're talking about.
And it's all by design. And then they make movies to reinforce it into the minds of these people. Like, because dinosaurs are just dragons. There's no such thing as a dinosaur. Dragons. What does the word dinosaur mean? It just means large lizard. When in history, when the word dragon stopped being used, the word dinosaur started to be used. Dragons are in the Bible. It's not a fictitious thing. Dragons are real. Yeah, they dig them up. They dig up the bones, but they call them dinosaurs, and they say it's millions of years ago. Lies. Also, that now, if your child believes in dinosaurs, then how can you? And then you can't believe in the Bible, because if you believe in dinosaurs, you believe in millions of years ago. The Bible doesn't teach that.
Because geology holds that ideology.
Even the jump shot as well, they come attacking what? The Bible. Because they say
Which one, sorry?
the jump shot. The thing.
What?
I mean 19. See 19?
Oh,
The jump
okay.
shot.
Oh,
You just slow on that outtake.
No,
bro.
no,
I was like,
no.
bro.
The jump shot. Yeah,
You're gonna make the brother say that?
No, I thought it was like that. No, go.
So yes, they attack the Bible as well, because they say, well, I mean, that's what it sounds stuck.
Yeah.
Which was, I mean, because people were coming and say that's against what I believe.
Right.
But
Yeah, it's fully tested, right?
But the Bible is science, man. The Bible contains all the science. The Bible told you about the fountains of the deep, and they went down there and found them. The Bible teaches you about meteorology, about how the Lord uses the clouds, and everything's in the Bible, man. They just don't want to admit that it's there. They make it look like the Bible is just a complete crazy book of madness. But then you believe in billions of years ago, something crawled out of some soup somewhere, and that's scientific fact. Exactly 780 billion.
No, they always say approximately, innit? Some mad margin.
Yeah.
Some mad margin.
So the lack of
error.
faith in the Bible and the Most High in the earth is really mainly down to Esau Edom and his so-called scientific community and his media that promote all this BS. They're not promoting faith in the Bible. They don't push forward the Bible as something which is valid. Even the concepts of the Bible, they don't want to reference. They'll reference Alfred Kinsey on how to raise a child, but won't reference anything in the Bible. The Bible's not referenced as being a source for anything in this society, and that's just the truth. It's always some pussy coming up with some madness about gentle parenting, and you're gonna listen to that pussy, and he's probably a pedophile.
Sigmund Freud.
Sigmund Freud. Yeah, some pedophile writes a book, then yeah, you can. We're gonna reference that in uni. Yes, academic. But the Bible teaches you psychology too. Teaches you about the psychology of men. Teaches you about the psychology of women.
Yeah.
That psychology is in the Bible.
Proverbs and that.
The Proverbs and all that. That's knowledge. That's science. That's how a man. You learn how men operate from the Proverbs, man. A double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. That's psychology right there.
Yeah. Strive not with a mighty man. All them things there.
Yeah, that John. Don't
hold him back.
Don't hold him back.
Did you have something there, brother?
Yeah, guys.
Okay, so.
Yeah, the word science just means knowledge, man. And the Bible is a scientific book, believe it or not. It's the ultimate science. This is the book of Luke 3 and 46. He has found out all the way of knowledge, and has given it unto Jacob his servant, to Israel his beloved. And that's how it's going to be. The real Renaissance era of knowledge, wisdom, the Asgardian era of knowledge is really going to be our kingdom, because we're gonna have all the science that Esau thinks he wants to have, and on top of that, we're gonna have the true science, which is the knowledge of the law, to guide the wisdom of how to use knowledge. Because you can have knowledge but not have the wisdom of how to use it correctly, because everything has a use and an abuse, and Esau masters in abuse.
Or it's like, what's that saying? Great power comes great responsibility. Esau don't operate like that. You know, he just does what he wants to do. He don't care about the repercussions. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, if we come across, we're gonna be perfect in our knowledge and what we're doing, because we're gonna be, moved in the spirit. But whatever we bring into this world, man, it's gonna be beneficial.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna have some mad negative.
Yeah, you gotta clean it up, like you gotta clean it up later and say sorry.
Some negative side to it. We ain't gonna have no negative. We ain't gonna have no negative side to our technology, man.
Yeah,
right.
We're gonna have technology. A lot of men think we're gonna live in caves and we're not gonna have roads or something. Like, what do you think? Listen, man, I hate to break it to you, yeah, but roads are not wicked, yeah. Like, if you don't have roads, you can't travel. Like, you need roads, like, and good roads too. If you ever been on a dirt road with a cart, like, when it's been raining and you end up in massive potholes, there's a reason why people started paving roads. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine they didn't pave the roads, bro. You can't travel. Roads
can't get bust up.
Can't get mashed up. However, there's a balance to that, isn't it? You don't have to concrete up everywhere and everything. You understand? So there's a balance. Like, we're gonna have cities, and our cities are not just gonna be like, what do you think, a mud hut with just dirt streets everywhere? And like, our cities are gonna be glorious, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have technology of the word technology just means the word tech means skill, and ology means study of skill. It's the applying knowledge with skill. Like a fork is technology, man. You know, a knife is technology. The tools, a know-how, how to do something. And it isn't wrong with having something that makes another thing easier or more convenient. But it shouldn't be at the expense of life. You know, it's supposed to complement life. Right? A hammer is a good thing. What do you want to do? Use a rock, blood, and start hammering? You got to design, to make it easier for you to work.
It's like, I think the Lord says is on the scriptures, he says, the things that are made on earth, nothing's really good or evil.
Yeah,
but it's just the use of things.
The use of it, man.
It's just the use of these things, man. You can create a technology that's good, but you can also use it for evil, man. Riddick killed a man with a tuna thing, bro. You know what I mean? But it's whatever it's used for, man. And Esau just doesn't know how to use things properly. That's all it is.
He uses for evil, man. He turns everything, and they show you that in their movies. Like, a guy will invent something. He's like, this is gonna help the world, and then the military will come in. Yeah. Turn this into a weapon. Yeah. How can we destroy the planet with this? Hey, they learned how to split the atom. They didn't even bother learning how to close it back up. Yeah, before they started splitting it, and then they used it for fucking weaponry.
check this. Remember, Iran was trying to get them the nuclear power, right?
Yeah.
And they said, no, you can't have the nuclear power.
No.
But that would have helped them. But no, because you might make a bomb, because that's what we did with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, hypocrites, man. You know, so any technology that could be used for good isn't used for good. I'm not saying nuclear power as it is today is
Yeah, you don't need
good,
nuclear power. Nuclear
yeah.
power is stupid. Why are you splitting atoms for? Like, that's dumb. And it's obviously dumb because it's toxic. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to be splitting the atoms. You can't even close them back up. And you got a bunch of toxic waste now that you can't do nothing about till for a couple thousand years, man. And then what's happened is all that nuclear technology has upped the cancer rates throughout the world, man.
Yep.
So obviously that's not the proper use of that knowledge. But Esau Edom, being the lacking the knowledge he has, doesn't care about nothing. You know? So our world is gonna be different. We're gonna be on that Asgardian real Renaissance era. That's why people are gonna look back at this world and be like, that was some bullshit. This technology ain't used the right way. Like a TV is actually good technology. It's just used against the people for evil. Urim and Thummim can have great benefits, but Esau purposely makes sure that everything ends up destroying people so he can control them. He's not about edification.
Go on. This is book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 9:6.
Good.
The principal things of the all use of man's life. The principal things for the all use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt. Flour of wheat.
Esau said salt bad for you now. You can't have salt.
Flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood
But
of
you
the.
can't have milk apparently. Don't drink milk. Milk is bad for you. Why would you drink milk from a cow? It's for baby cows. Man, stop repeating Esau's bullshit, man.
That's like saying, why do we should eat humans in a minute?
It's just retarded, man. Like, everything in its balance, isn't it? So you're basically going from one overextension to another, one extreme to another, because they want to sell you some fake milk now that they make in a lab or some shit. You can have milk. It's just that maybe you're not supposed to drink 20 gallons of milk every day. And proof of that is they got to keep the cows artificially pregnant all the time in order to do that. Because why? They set up a breakfast industry that produces cereals that are basically got no fucking nutrients in them, and so they had to milk, cereal, put it together and sell it to you to get you to eat it every morning. And then they said, the milk is giving you calcium to get you to buy it and eat it every morning. Well, really, you're not supposed to drink milk like that. But that doesn't mean milk is bad for you. It just means you're not applying it in the wisdom.
The bottom line is that the world is abused.
It's abuse, man.
The world is being abused by Esau and his industries and all of this, man. And this is why it needs to be reset, right? It needs to be put back in order, right? Population needs to come down a little bit, and how should I gonna deal with that, And then we can start again and learn how to use things properly. You know what I'm saying?
Milk is bad for you. You can't have milk. The Bible just said you can have milk and cheese and these things, man. Cheese is highly nutritious, man. It tastes good too and everything. Just maybe not like them stupid ass pizzas where they put like 10 tons of different cheeses on there and kill themselves. You know what I mean? It's abuse. Now you're not showing any balance, and that's where the problem begins, man. Because the diet of America is not based upon you living healthily. It's based upon corporations paying off advertising and paying off doctors to sell their product in high capacity. I mean, there's some kind of history. I forgot about it, about Kellogg's.
Yeah.
And it was bullshit, man.
And the blood of the grapes.
Yeah, wine. Wine is all, again, that's another thing. There's nothing wrong with wine. It's not evil. However, you can abuse wine, and that's also in the scriptures. Wine is a mocker. You can have too much of something. You can have too little. Everything is in balance, man. That's the way the world works. There's even certain toxic elements here that our bodies need. In a small amount that is necessary for certain things.
Yeah.
Everything has its balance and its time and its place, and that's where wisdom and knowledge and understanding comes in. Just like if you're a farmer, like there's different crops. Some crops need more water, some crops need less water. Some crops need a lot of water at this time and less water at this time.
Everything's balanced.
Everything's balanced, man, and you have to apply the wisdom. Our bodies are the same way. So you can't just say, oh, that's bad for you. Like I said, you go on TikTok, man, there's man telling you that everything's bad for you and you shouldn't eat it. That's
Truth is,
absolute
too
bullshit.
much of anything's bad.
Yeah.
You know, but your body
Even
does
water.
need, yeah.
You drink too much water, you die, you drown on the inside.
That's your line.
Yeah, you mess up, man. So what now? Water's actually there was someone that's saying water's bad for you, you should drink water.
I don't drink water.
Come on, man.
Just knowing where that balance is, man. But that's not taught in this world. You know, Esau ain't got that kind of. Well, he might know, but he don't teach knowledge. You know, he don't teach wisdom.
Yeah, because the corporations want to make their money and they don't care if they're destroying people to do it. And that's part of this righteous rulership thing. People, the mindset of Esau is gain and don't care who you got to destroy to get it. And that's why I keep going on about this upliftment of this drug gangster. Oh, I sold the drugs because I need the money. But if you analyze what you're doing is a net negative. If the way you're making money is destroying people around you, you shouldn't be doing that. That's not righteous. What you're doing should not only benefit yourself, but should benefit others around you. And that's called the network of care. Because if everybody lives like that, that means everybody's benefiting each other. But because we live in a world where if I could become a billionaire selling people something, whether it kills them or not or destroys them or not, fuck it. At least I'll get my billion. And that's the way of the world. Oh, if someone comes to me, you're gonna offer me 2 million to endorse this product. I don't really care whether it works or not, or whether I'll take the bag. The celebrities, they took the bag to promote the jib jab. Because they don't give a fuck as long as you're making that money. That's all that matters to people. The love of money is the root of all evil. No, the righteous way of life, you're not supposed to do that, man. Righteous works. What you do should be positive for the people around you. Otherwise, that's a good sign that it's evil. It doesn't matter if it benefits you short term. You know?
And oil and clothing. All this.
Yeah, oil. Oil is good for the skin. You can use oil to make creams and make your own creams and ointments and things like that. So oil is very and there's all different type of oils, man. There's all kind of wisdom to do with the oils. Oil and what else?
Clothing.
Clothing, man. Yeah, even clothing. And there's a wisdom to clothing. Different clothing have their different virtues and what they can be used for. You got the linen, you got the silk, you know. And the Bible tells you like not to mix fabrics, things like that, you know. But in even that industry, that clothing industry is toxic because instead of making quality clothing that lasts, Esau wants to mass produce clothing. So he has to find a way to get you to like basically throw away the clothing you already have to buy new clothing to speed up the cycle so that they can make billions instead of millions. So then the whole clothing industry, the fashion industry is designed around a quick turnaround. So it used to be you had 4 seasons. You had 4 seasons, 4 sales in the year. Now you've got a sale every 2 weeks. And there's pressure, especially on the women, to buy this, wear it once. You can't be seen in the same thing. Oh, there's a new style. So every 2 weeks there's a new thing. And and then they're drying up fucking lakes in the planet to produce all this clothing. And most of it's just going to landfill.
Yeah.
Why is that happening? Because the people running the industry cared more about maximizing profit than actually sustainability, man.
Same with the whole PR campaign with diamonds are a girl's best friend. You man don't need diamonds. not like how you're pushing them out, you know. But now it's like it has to be that. It has to be this, and you know, Esau put you in a mindset that this is the way, you know, that you should live.
But it's destructive.
That's right.
The clothing industry is actually destroying the planet. Now, producing clothing is not supposed to be destructive. It's supposed to be a positive thing. But when you got these big multinational companies and all they care about is making the profit, then yeah, there's going to be sweatshops. There's going to be poor quality clothing sold for you to wear once so that you can go back and buy another that and keep the system turning over. right? So you can have all these billionaires in Switzerland, man. That's what it is.
All these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners are they turned into evil.
Right. When you don't have the righteousness of the Heavenly Father, all these things turn back and become evil because you end up using these things in a negative manner that is destructive. Where if you had the righteousness of the Lord, it would become something positive. Everything you do is positive, whether it comes to the education, whether it comes to agriculture, whatever you do will end up being balanced. It will end up being considerate to human life rather than considerate to your back, your billfolds or the corporation. And isn't that the main problem with the world? The world is basically not for people anymore. It's for corporations and the evil people that run them. And the corporation doesn't care about people, doesn't care about how people are going to live. It's ruthless. Amazon don't give a about humans. It's all about how much profit can they eke out.
Yep.
The lucre.
I think the scriptures say about a fat man upright or something, or righteous,
Like
or whatever.
many inventions.
Many inventions, man. You know, and these ideas that these people come up with corrupt people, but then doubly more so when you got the wicked in all the shit. Doubly more so, right? So, some people might even have a good idea that they had sincere, they had sincere reasons for it or whatever. And it happens a lot of time with research and development, and people on certain projects and that they're generally there because they're being funded by someone to produce something that they think would be good for the world, but someone, like a corporation or company, will come in and I say twist that and use it for what they want to use it for. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the nature of the world right now.
Like petrol, man. There's nothing wrong with petrol. But the Lord put petrol on the earth as a fuel source, and really there's nothing wrong with it. That whole thing about no, it's not. Right? When you burn petroleum and these things, right? They have the converters and stuff, to basically reduce the toxins it produces down to almost nothing. That's already been known. Even with the coal burning, they already had the new coal plants had scrubbers on them. It didn't release no toxin. There's fucking water vapor coming out the top. Right? The reason they got rid of the coal plants, right, and oil's running out is because they want to make energy scarce, because people need energy. That's the reality. If you need energy to do things, you need energy because how did we get here now to travel? It takes energy. Your body runs on energy, right? The cheaper energy is, the easier life is for people. Like, imagine if petrol prices went down to like 10 cents. How much cheaper the goods that you can buy are in terms of the food. Food can be produced cheaper. They can still make profit, but you get it cheaper. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, and it'll make your life a lot easier. It will be a less strain on you. But nah, they have to energy crisis to put the electricity up, all these things up, and then tell you that oil is running out when it's not running out. Oil is produced by the earth. That's something they don't tell you. Oil don't come from fucking dinosaur bones. It's all bullshit. Oil is actually produced in the earth, and they know that. All the old oil reservoirs that they said were empty, they go back to them and they fill them back up again, because the oil is actually coming up from in the earth. It's produced abiotically, and they know that. But they say it's scarce so that they can control it and put the price up. And then so that's why someone somewhere in the world is living on the edge, because they only got a little bit of money, and most of it has to go on food and all these things that would be cheaper if the damn fucking energy costs weren't so high. Esau's the devil, artificial scarcity. And they'd still be rich. They just want to have control over the people, man.
Well, should you say they have more than the heart could wish? They already got enough, but they want you to have nothing.
Look how much money them fucking energy companies made after they look at profit.
Yeah, and
they didn't put up the prices.
And they didn't bother cut no one's prices afterwards. Demonic.
It's demonic, man. Esau's the devil, man. We are just working for these devils and their corporations, man. And they're getting away with it, man.
You done, yeah? All right, so let me grab this and I'll go back to where I was before. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 3.
Now they're saying that the cattle are bad because they fart and produce methane. Bro, it's called a fucking carbon cycle, man. It's a carbon cycle. Animals eating grass is
It's
Naturally.
part of the natural. Like this is mad. That's part of the natural course of the earth. You need carbon dioxide for the trees. Like, you get me? Like, they need it. Like, what are you talking about? This is basic science. They don't want to get rid of the cattle. The cattle are evil now because they're farting. Satan. Hey, we're gonna have bare cattle in the kingdom. What you think you come true to my cookout, bro? And it ain't gonna be bare cattle, just whole cattle. Sacrifice.
That's a part of war too.
Yo, a bare cattle, man. I deal with dog. Bare cattle, bare lamb. Like, the scripture told you that we're gonna have bare lamb and cattle and all them things there. Flocks. I gotta eat, and we ain't gonna be no vegans. Man, must, you know, I don't know about you. You know, if you want to be a vegan, that's you, man. But you know, I love them beef ribs, bro. Slow cooked, man.
That's 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse where is it now? Yeah, verse 19. It says, for the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. All right, so we're saying, you know, the wisdom of this world ain't perfect. Right? It's imperfect. And this is why the righteous got to be in authority to make things perfect. Right? But I think brother read it earlier, man, the wisdom and knowledge was given unto Jacob. You know, it's not given to Esau. That's why he can't run shit right. It's been given to us to be able to manage this world properly. You know, we're the real rulers, the real maintainers of this earth. You know, which we inherited from Adam. You know what I'm saying? To do it properly.
Yeah, we're not gonna destroy. Like, obviously, not Esau. When you're under punishment, we're gonna destroy your family. But in our rulership, we're not gonna set out to destroy people, even the heathen, not destroy their families, because our rules and our laws and our regulations is about building. So, because as they're building up, we're living off them too. Because Scripture says we're gonna suck the milk of the Gentiles.
Yeah.
So they can't be in complete disarray. The more they get built up, the more we're getting built up, because their productivity is going to benefit us. So why would we just sit there and just destroy people, man?
And we're going to be continuously growing. So the heathen have to grow too.
Yeah, they got to grow.
They got to grow. We can't stifle the nations like that. Esau stifles the nations, man. Just so you can hold everything to you, so you be a hoarder and let no one have anything else. That's not how everything's supposed to be. You know?
A graveyard. Esau want to rule over a graveyard, man.
Yep.
Everyone got cancer and shit. Coffee.
And this is from Isaiah chapter 2, verse 2. It says, it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the tops of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills. And all nations shall flow unto it, and many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways.
And our ways is universal, meaning on all things. We're gonna have this, just like how the EU, they got the EU standards. We're going to be laying down the standard of everything and how it should be done and whether it should be done. And if you ain't sure, you come and consult with the dons and we'll tell you what the right way of doing it is.
Yay or nay.
You know, we're going to have the knowledge of all things, man. Because, you know, there's a lot of things, like even when you build a toilet, you know, you're supposed to, when you use a toilet, your knees are supposed to be at a certain angle. So you're supposed to build toilets like that. Right, there's a lot of things, man. Knowledge that could make life better, like water. There's a documentary out there by a guy named Nicholas. What's his Victor Schuberger or something. I think his name is, man. And then he was like looking into the way of water, and he broke down how water is not supposed to just move in a block column being pushed along. It's not natural. Water's supposed to like move in a river. The water moves in a particular way that energizes the river and energizes the water. And so he even designed the pipes. The pipes are supposed to basically be like a spiral, so the water moves in the natural function, and that energizes the water. And they found that when you bake bread or do anything, or it's better. Or if you put one of them in a lake and have the water being funneled through it and spiraling, and it keeps the lake alive and it makes it more vibrant. Do you know what I'm saying? And things like that. There's a lot of things out there that could be being applied, but Esau don't apply them because he don't give a fuck.
You know the tree, the way they plant a tree.
Yeah.
Most of the time they planted marrow tree
Yeah.
Oh,
And
nah,
that's why
yeah,
you get
yeah,
the hay
yeah,
fever and all that.
yeah.
Yeah, Esau's an idiot. And then even copper. You're supposed to use copper utensils when you're farming and that. They're much better. They actually help the plants to grow, and it cuts through the soil better. You're supposed to use copper, man. Like there's so much like out there. So it begins with the law, but really it's gonna be everything, man. We're gonna be like tutoring the world on all areas of life and how it, just like how Esau does that now, he sets the standards, but he's an asshole. So everything's all messed up and out of whack. We're gonna provide the proper standard for all things in life. The heathens are gonna be looking to us like, okay, how all right, that's how we're supposed to build. That's how
Well,
we're
that's
supposed
it.
to
We're gonna automatically know the best way to do something, and that's what you're gonna do.
Mm.
What's the point of doing it any other way?
Nah, it's no
If we
point.
got the best method of application of these knowledges to how to do something, why would you not use that? We're not having to or Esau trial and error stuff. No. But it's only because there's money behind it that these things even get pushed. Because some when their friends got this business going and they're going to push that. Because it's not that Esau's an idiot per se, because he knows a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot
He's
of
wiser
times
than Daniel, right?
It's his own envy and
Agendas.
greed
Yeah.
and his own evil and wickedness, man, that he does things and he don't give a damn. But we're gonna be different. So it says the nations are gonna come to us, man, because we're gonna be ruling in righteousness and we're gonna be in everything. They're gonna come to us and get the consultation from the dons, and we're gonna be the enlightened ones, man. Unlike Esau, you go to Esau will have you like flipping circumcising your daughters and chopping off your son's penises and telling you that's the way forward. Can't come to this man for nothing. He ain't right.
So they come ye, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. You're going to walk the way we say to walk. You're going to do how we say how to do things, because we know better. The Lord is our Father, and he knows the most.
Ain't gonna be none of this debating, gender warfare. All this bullshit that's going on right now, like just all madness, man. Debating about the ways of life. No, there is a way it should be done, and it will be done that way, and there isn't gonna be no debate. Debating is not gonna exist in our world because there's not gonna be no need for debate because we just know.
Well, we read it in the Apocrypha. Truth shall flourish, or faith shall flourish. Truth shall be known, right? There's no need to debate. When you know the truth, you know the truth. And that's why this world is confused, because they don't know the truth. That's why you got this space for debating, because you don't really know. These people don't actually know shit, man. They don't know anything. So they get to the debate because everyone's got an opinion, right? Everyone's got a fucking opinion.
Oh man, podcast stage.
You know what I'm saying? But when you know the truth, when the truth is declared to you, there's no other thing. There's only wrong. You know what I mean? Everything else is wrong. And that's a blissful era to be in, man. Rather than this bullshit world, we have to contend with people over stupidness.
The simplest of things, simplest of life, man.
But you can walk down the road and you know that person is agreeable. This person knows the same thing I know, and that's the truth. Because the
truth is gonna be the household thing. Like the whole world is gonna be moving off the vibration that we teach. Like right now, what we're doing seems radical, and it seems like out of the way. But in our world, which is to come, it's gonna be the dominant. Everyone is just gonna know this truth that we teach and understand the history that we teach, and there ain't gonna be no other history on the planet. It's gonna be the true history, man. It's gonna be pure, and that's so beautiful and so different to what we have to do. Because even now, it is messed up that you can't, even if you got a family, a lot of times you're isolated because the people that surround you is different, and that's actually messed up. You're not supposed. It's very difficult to live like that. You're supposed to live with
cohesiveness,
with people around you that are like-minded. You're not supposed to live like isolated, and then, do you know what I mean? Like we're communal creatures at the end of the day. We were designed to live in families and clans, and nowadays it's so messed up. You can't, because your neighbors and all that are on some next shit.
You know what I mean? That's what Yahushua said. He came to bring division. Yahushua not here to unite the world. He's bringing divisions, man. The father against the son, and the daughter against the mother, and all this kind of business, because we're all on different fucking wavelengths. Because he sort of taught you to be fucking just do whatever in it, whatever you think is right in it, just do it, rather than have something cohesive that everything is built upon. The world is mostly built on these laws, You know, these commandments, man. That's which is the foundation of the earth, because everything runs off that, you know, the Most High's will.
Yeah, man.
And
It's
you're
like,
fighting against it, man. You break, you break shit. You know, things don't work.
well, look at the situation, because the contract of marriage is not respected. And then they introduced the idea of girlfriends and boyfriends and all this stuff in between and situationships, right? Ultimately, what it's done is it's made relationships between men and women toxic. And who's it damaged more than? The people involved in the relationships end up damaged, men and women, and the children, which are, if they are produced from those relationships, are damaged. Why? Because, like, it's not going on the way it's supposed to be. The way it's supposed to be is a man and a woman get together and they make a blood covenant to uphold honor and duty together, man, regardless. Now that's been taken out of the way. What do you have? There's no agreement. There's no covenant. So there's no trust. There's no duty. There's no honor. It's just blah. And then so it's just pure madness going on, man. Pure madness going on, and it ends in what? War, discontent, depression, madness, and destroyed children. And those destroyed children go on to cause a whole bunch of problems. Where if you just did it like how the Bible is, like, it's like girl, virgin, get married. Now, the fact of the matter is, like, a woman shouldn't be getting married to a man that you don't trust and believe in anyway. That's why you get vetted, so that when you do marry that man, you know that that's the man, and you make that covenant, knowing, yeah, this is my dude, because your parents checked him out. Now, yeah, nowadays you might go into the covenant with a dirty bitch. Well, that's stupid. In the ancient world, you wouldn't have done that anyway. Man, your parents be like, check her out. No, you can't be going into covenant with her. Same thing the other way around. Is this a good man? Is this a respectful man? Is this a man that's honorable? You'd be happy to give your daughter to that man. And then you tell your daughter, I had a video the other day where the guy was telling his daughter, listen, don't embarrass me, man. Don't disrespect me. I've always taken care of you. Now you're going to obey your husband. Now you're going to trust his word. Why? Because I've chosen a good man for you.
It's like when Abraham sent his servant to go get a wife for Isaac, right? Rebecca, right? You know, he told his servant not to go to my family, go to, you know, my kindred, because he knows them, right? You know, he knows. Oh yeah, go to the nation over there. I don't know. Fuck all these people. Yeah, I don't know nothing about what these guys are on. No, go to my kindred. You know, pick out. You know, there's the whole story behind it, but you know, get this woman.
And they didn't get a girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. From the very beginning, this society's fucked up. There shouldn't be no such thing as a girlfriend. There shouldn't be no such thing as a side piece. That's all bullshit. And no, there's just a man should have his wives, and whores should be a very minimum. It should be at a very minimum, to be honest with you, because the more whores you have, it just causes problems, as we see. It gets too much. If the land is given to whoredom, it should be like 99.99% wives, and all the bullshit would just end. Signed up to a covenant, you have to honor your covenant. You got to fulfill it as a man, you fulfill your duty. As a woman, you fulfill your duty. Everything works perfect. Done. Nah, this society, it's all mess. If you ain't money, it's about money, and it's all bullshit, man. We're gonna fix all of that.
So we read this again, Isaiah 2 and 3 says, many people shall go and say, come ye and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
That's right, man. Right? They're gonna have to live according to the laws. They're gonna have to, like, murder is gonna be punishable by death out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. Do you know what I'm saying? Everything's just gonna be running how it's supposed to be. We're gonna police the word. The word police goes back to policy. Our policy is gonna go through the earth, and it's gonna be righteous, man. Not like now you got these heathens with all these goofy ways here, and it's just causing problems, man. Right? Because all these nations ain't right. They're all heathens, man, and do foolishness, man. You got, man, them Elam, They used to burn man like if the woman's husband died, they used to burn her off a fucking burial fire. It's a madness, man. That's not in the law. You know what I mean? Like they chuck the widow on the burial fire. Like, these people are mad.
Just finishing this off in Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 28. So as for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth which have been so long without fruit shall be declared.
That in our world, truth is going to be not the CNN and the Sky News and the BBC, which everyone should understand now, just promotes nothing but lies 24/7. Lies or half truths, or it could be the truth, but it's taken out of context. They're good at doing that. Them little statistics.
Yep.
You know, to overdo something when it's like if you take the broader look, you'd be like, actually, it's not that big of a problem. You know what I'm saying? But Esau's good at that, man, just lying and deceiving. That well, that's not going to happen in our kingdom. Just nothing but truth. Everything's going to be true. When you do business, you tell the truth. What's wrong with this car? You're going to tell man exactly what's wrong with the car. What's right with it? None of that bullshit. If you defraud, the Bible tells you defraud not thy neighbor. So all this fraudulent activity and purposely putting in these fine prints and trying to get one over on people ain't gonna be happening. You know, mad interest, payday loans with like 10,000% interest. How could that be right, man? That's predatory. Destroying people, man.
We're gonna produce a world with, with people with better morals and better ethics, man. You know, everything's a fucking scam here. You know, you can't even fucking open up an email about trying to be scammed. You know what I'm saying? That won't be going on, man.
Yes, the scammer them are out here, man. The scammer them are working hard, man. Esau's the biggest scammer there is.
Yep.
The pedophiles are out here enjoying themselves. They're not even getting the word. If you want to be a criminal, the criminal that gets away with shit the most is the pedophile, man. Pedophiles are operating out here like no one ain't looking for them because they ain't. They're on the internet. Like the guy went on the internet the other. He did it live. He went on the internet, posed as a girl or whatever, and within 2 seconds, man, man were already onto it. Because Esau, he's into that 8-year-olds, 7-year-olds. Go on.
This is a quick one. Matthew 5:37. But let your communication be yeah, nay, nay, for whatsoever is more than this cometh of evil.
Yeah, all you got to do is watch an interview where the politician and they start getting asked the hard questions, and it will never be a yes or a no to a straight question. It'll always be beating around the bush and bare talking going on. Because they're just trying to bamboozle people, man. And it's obvious. It's obvious, man.
We'll just put up with it.
But that's the way of the world. Why is that? In the Christian, why these good Christians, man, why are they like this? They're really just the devil. In our world, it's not going to be like that, man. Tell the truth, and the truth shall set you free. The truth is above all. They're going to need to lie. What are you lying about? Thou shalt not lie.
This is the book. Look at Ezra 4:38. As for the truth, it endures and is always strong. It liveth and it conquers forevermore.
That's why this world is crumbling. Because this world is based upon lies and deceit. It's crumbling. It's crumbling under itself. Right? Because what's the deceit? That all these wicked ways leadeth unto life. What's the deceit? The deceit is that if the wages of sin is not death, that thou shalt not surely die. Yeah, that's what we're seeing, that the people are buying into these wicked ways, and they are reaping the fruits.
Mm-hmm.
And his kingdom is going to reap the fruits. It's going to be destroyed under its own wickedness.
As goes on to say, with her, there is no accepting of persons or rewards, but she doeth the things that are just, and refraineth from all unjust and the wicked things, and all men do well like of our works.
But
Neither
the works of truth does well. It does good. In the end, it will be good. In the end, it will be good. And that's why ultimately the kingdom of heaven is going to be a better place for everyone. Now we get on the heathen because they're going to have to get their ass whooping. But even for the heathen, it's going to be 10 times better ultimately than it is now, because they're going to live under those laws. They're not going to be living under pure terror once the hardcore slavery is done with. They're going to get their lands back, and they're just going to have to live according to what we say, which is righteousness anyway. They're going to be entitled to justice. So if someone murders them or murder happens among them, justice must be done. Adultery, justice must be done. Defraudment, justice. We're not going to allow unjust weights and measurements. So you could trust what people say, man. You could trust what's going on, because there are going to be consequences for breaking that, and that's a good world to live in.
And ultimately, well, we're keeping you safe from the Heavenly Father, man. You know, because you don't want the Heavenly Father to come visit you, man.
Well, he will. It'll be us. We are going to be the manifestation of the Lord on earth. It'll be us. The sons of the Lord are going to be here. We'll visit you.
The Lord said He'll send them famine and all kinds of things if you don't, want us to rule, right? Yeah, if you don't come up to the, and do your thing, right? The Lord gonna send famine and stuff, man. You don't want that to happen to you, man. So you just obey and play by the rules, right? Then you're good.
Life will be
Yeah,
good.
life will be good, man.
Good enough for you, anyway.
No problems.
You won't be living like we are, but it's still better than. You really look at how the majority of the world lives now and how Esau wants people to live. This is madness, man. Abject poverty, man. I was checking out today. If you earn $32,000 a year, you're actually in the top 10%.
Yeah, no, I read something similar here as well. Some low numbers.
You're in the top 10% of earners. But then even if you go into the West, the man on 32,000 is breadline. Yep. So this world's really only for the elite, man.
Yeah, you're like almost elite. On a peon level, you're kind of like high up the chain. Because these men that are rolling in it, man. They're rolling in it, like big time. The $100,000 a year ain't nothing now.
Yeah.
No, but you still be considered as a high earner.
Yeah, no.
But that's nothing now.
If you and your woman are earning 8K each, then you can start cooking with rice. But then you're just about. But then even then, you're getting tax mad as well. So
tax mad. But that's what I'm saying. Like, they would say even earning 30, 40K is a high earner. Well, how? Man are struggling. The men are struggling at that wage.
Cost of living, especially
sick unbalanced. That's right.
there is no accepting of persons only words, but she doeth the things that are just, and refraineth from all unjust and wicked things.
Right, so we're not going to be wicked or unjust. Don't get it twisted. The judgment that we're going to bring on these heathens when we put them into hardcore slavery is just. It's not wicked, because we're only going to be bringing justice. It's just like when you put someone in prison for like doing something wrong, you're not unjust or wicked for giving them the punishment for what they've done.
Mm-hmm.
They have to face judgment. That's not wicked.
Because you have done something.
If you've done something and you get punished for it, then that's righteousness. But they're not going to be punished forever. Eventually they're going to come up out of that hardcore state. They're still going to be subjects, but they're not going to be getting punished, which is two different things. They're still going to have to kiss the ring, which is righteousness.
And all men be well like of our works, neither in our judgment is any unrighteousness. And she is the strength of kings, and she is the strength, kingdom, power, and majesty, all age of all ages. Blessed be the power of truth.
That's right. You stand by the truth, you will stand. Esau has chosen the way of deceit. He's chosen the way of lies. Right. That's why the scriptures say, man, deliver me from the hand of strange children, whose power is in falsehood, man. And you can see that. That's why everything, the vibration of fakeness is of the society. Like I'm just BBLs. What's that? Falsehood. And then when you really break it down, it's fucked up because it don't look good. You know what I'm saying? Like this good girl went and got her lips tattooed, and I used to work down fucking what's it called? Baker Street, innit? You know, you got round the corner, you got what's it called? Harley Street. And that's where the bitches go to get their like faces done, yeah? And they come back looking like someone punched them in the damn face. And the thing is that you're not looking at them because their lips look good. Like a girl with natural good lips looks good. These girls look freakish because it's just not their lips. It's like they got the duck thing going on. And you're like, rah, like, and then who's fooled you? Falsehood, man.
King
But-
Charles fingers on the
False eyelashes. That shit don't look good. It don't. It really don't. This is like the filters. Now you got the TikTok filters. Then you got the Instagram filters. Because this world is all about falsehood. People feigning themselves to be rich when they're already broke. Everything's all about being fake and phony. It's the spirit of deceit. The spirit of deceit, man, is in this place.
Yeah, your father, the devil, man. You know, I got this Psalms 58, verse 1. Do you indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do you judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yea, in heart ye work wickedness. You weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. That's all Esau really knows how to do, man. He's not an honest person. Even going all the way back to Cain, right? He knew what the right thing to do was, right? But he decided to do what he wanted to do, right? And then when he come to ask about his brother now, after he slayed him, he lied. Or he deflected.
Yeah, he didn't want to stand.
He deflected,
He didn't want to stand on his word.
Yeah,
he didn't want to
an honest
stand on what
person.
he did.
Because he knew it was wrong.
Because he knew it was wrong. Because then why would you lie?
But he had
know
to
you couldn't
satisfy
stand
his
on it.
rage, you know, to satisfy the violent tendencies that he's got.
That's why Esau, man, you can't be trusted. Because Esau will make anything up to justify his own lust and his own envy, man. He will lie and steal to achieve his own ends, man.
And just to show how much he would lie, he lied to the person that knows all. So he don't care who it is he's talking to. He'll lie. He'll lie blatantly to your face.
Yep.
Like Andrew.
Oh yeah.
Better sit on TV and lie to the whole world.
Lie to the whole
Lie,
thing, man.
I don't sweat. You know, they don't care. They're just what they call that.
My auntie would have said effervescent liars, man.
Yeah, you know,
Habitual liars,
yeah, that's it. They just can't help just what they are. They're liars, right? Esau is a deceiver. That's why he's the devil, right? It says the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. It infects everybody, man. Everyone believes these fucking lies, man. That he puts out there. We're talking about the whole science and all that kind of stuff that he pumps out there as fact when no one can actually physically go and prove anything.
Trust the science.
Yeah, you know, minimal testing,
Trust
fake
the science.
testing, all this stuff, right?
Yeah, you trust the
you know.
science when they had the doctors telling everyone that cigarettes was good for them.
Yeah.
They actually did that, man. People forget this, man. This man
He's got a bad track record.
had doctors promoting cigarettes, man. Cigarette
I love cancer.
camels.
Yeah,
Yeah. And they knew, and then
Marlboro.
even when it came out, they knew that it was causing cancer, and they covered it up for years, meaning they didn't give a fuck. And they promoted it to children. They pushed it through Hollywood. They paid off the Hollywood artists to smoke in the films to make people want to smoke more.
devilish.
Just liars, man.
Yep.
Fake, like, you know.
So their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that's here. Right?
Yeah,
you
you
don't
can't
want to
reason.
you don't want to hear right.
You can't reason with Esau because Esau, once he's a covetous man, and he's an envious man. And once he has his mind set on an evil, you ain't gonna be able to deter him, man. You ain't gonna be able to change his mind, or he isn't gonna have a change of heart.
Let's just speak about like they can't go to sleep unless they've done evil.
Yeah.
Something like that along those lines.
If you got something and Esau wants it, it doesn't matter what you say. Esau's coming to take that one way or another. He gonna find a way. He's plotting and scheming on you, man. That's the nature of Esau. He ain't trying to hear nothing. Because the truth, you could tell him the truth,
Don't mean nothing to him.
doesn't mean nothing to him. Like, he will invent his own lie and go with that.
Yep.
Ah, fuck it, no.
He'll make his truth.
Look at the shape of his head. He's a criminal. That's it.
But look at that saying, ain't it? My truth or whatever.
Yeah, my
Esau will
truth.
make his truth and make it popular.
They're savages. See,
Yeah.
you know, they're savages. You know, yeah, they're cannibals. That's why we're killing them. Not because they don't. Yeah. You know, Esau. You know, he don't give a damn, man. To this day.
Yeah. It says, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charmer never so wisely. Break their teeth, O God, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord.
And that's what it is. And you were going into that earlier. So when Yahweh Shai comes, he's gonna destroy their military, because that's what they stand on.
Yep.
That might, that sword, the ability to inflict death and destruction. And they get hard off that. They get hard off their military, of the fact that they know that they can go and put a hurting on people from the sky, and the more destruction they can create, the more bold they get, the more prideful they are. And that's why America is so proud, because they know they have the power to destroy countries like nothing, so they can bully people and tell people what to do. That's how they are. But guess what, man? The Lord is gonna come and destroy their military, their police, man, and destroy all their militaries, man. And they ain't gonna have nothing left. You're gonna break their teeth, man, and they're gonna be like a baby in our hands, man. They're gonna be like on the floor, and we're gonna have our foot on their necks, man, because we're gonna receive the power. They're gonna be emasculated. Yeah, 100%. They're gonna know true fear, man, and helplessness.
Actually. So verse 7 says, let them melt away as waters which run continually. When he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be cut in pieces. As a snail which melteth, let every one of them pass away like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun. Before your pots can feel the thorns, he shall take them away as a whirlwind, both living and in his wrath. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance.
Right, we're gonna be celebrating the elect. We're willing. We're gonna be celebrating. That's not gonna be like a moment of, oh man, you know, our brother Esau. No, it's gonna be celebrating like we won, like celebrating the death of the enemy, man. And the elect are gonna have front row seats to the epic destruction of Esau, Edom's kingdom, and all the armies of the world, and it's gonna be glorious.
As I was reading back in Revelation 13 and 10, this is the patience and the faith of the saints. The saints are waiting on this vengeance, man. We're waiting for the revenge.
And when you destroy your people's army, they can't stand. What's going to be left? All the weak men and the women and children. You just come in and take control. Because how can you fight? Once you take out the warriors, what's left? Nothing. A nation without its army has no defense. They're defenseless. What man gonna do? Throw rocks? So that's how it's gonna be like. We're gonna be in the chariots, man, and they're gonna be helpless. We're just gonna come down with great power and start slapping chains on people, man.
Circling people,
rounding them up, and they're gonna be there, and we're gonna be standing over them, and we're gonna be like looking mean. We're gonna be looking angry, and then in turn to each other, be laughing, like snickering, like
mean and glorious.
And they're not gonna know what's gonna happen to them after that, because we ain't gonna be doing too much talking. It's gonna be like, oh, you know,
their life shall hang out.
And why should they know where they're gonna go? Like, you don't need to know that.
Just go.
Yeah. You're gonna be in the dark, man, because you're just animal. You don't tell your animal, your horse, where they're going. You know what I mean? You just do it.
It's like the scriptures speak about, the curses that will fall upon us, man. We fall upon our enemies, man. And just like we lived in such a way that our life hanging in doubt all the damn time, we didn't know what was going to happen to us from day to day. You know, whether we was going to make it through the day, whether your wife or your children was going to make it through the day. You didn't know shit, whether you're going to eat, whether you're not going to eat. You know, all these types of things. That's how you're going to live your life for the whole time you're in punishment, man. And the whole time you're in judgment. You know, you're going to be in threat in your life all the time.
We're going to be gathering you up, and not one of you is going to be hiding anywhere that we won't know where you are, because we got access to the spiritual group sensors. Yeah, so we're gonna know where every one of you. We're gonna round you up. Every scene, ain't no one gonna get away. Don't care where you're hiding. We're gonna round everybody up, man.
Can't run, can't hide. just total oppression for 1,000 years. You know, because that is what your judgment is. You're not making it up. The only reason why we knew that because we read the scriptures. That's the only reason why we knew. Before we didn't have hope. We didn't know about this.
They're gonna be in China, hiding the Moabites, hiding around the place. We'll grab them up, man. And then we're gonna, divide them up with Moabites here, Elamites here, and begin the process of rebuilding the kingdom of heaven, man.
Yep.
You know?
Starting with Jerusalem.
and the lands about, man.
Yep. So the righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked, so that a man shall say, verily there is a reward for the righteous.
So that's funny. So that's saying that's an actual reward. The vengeance, the justice on your enemy.
To wash our feet in the blood.
To wash our feet in the blood of the
symbolic.
And that is symbolic. That is manliness, man. A real man wants to get justice and revenge for injuries that are placed upon him and his people. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a real man. A man, if someone comes and violates your kindred, you're supposed to want vengeance for that.
You know? That's why you watch movies like Django and them type of things, like,
man. Yeah. But they trying to make us look bad for that, man. But it's not, man. The Lord has said that that's a reward for us for being patient. That is because it's really the elect. We're gonna get the joy of taking actual Edomites from this side into the next. Like the 2/3, they're gonna be born into the kingdom, so they're gonna be born into a system where the people that's there already been under that system. They don't even know nothing about the system before. You know how beautiful it's gonna be to get these devils that actually was on this side and break them. Oh man, you're gonna get them devils, and some of the devils you might know. Like obviously not in America, but you might know certain devils, man. They're gonna be burnt, but some of these devils in the UK, man, some of the ex-managers and shit, man, you might see, man, they're like, scoffers. Oh, yeah, I remember you were talking a bag of talk, You were moving like the Ali Dawa, man. We gotta get that guy, man. I hope he don't die. That Ali Dawa there, man, him and his little Muslim crew, them man need to go into slavery, man, because I'm gonna be making mockery of them man's lives every day. I'm gonna be making nothing but mockery because them man try to violate the Hebrew Israelites, man. That ain't right. So things like that, that's a reward. You can just say, hey man, I remember you. Hey, I hope even vocab, man, that'd be good to get vocab. This vocab, man, I hope maybe he escapes to Mexico or something, escape the missiles, man. And we put that dude in chains. You know how glorious that would be, man. He'd be shook. He's like, oh no, who's that? Hey, ain't that vocab there, bro? We be taking turns violating.
Hey, man, it's when you said the spirit, man, you be sharing around.
Yeah, bro. He might just be in Jerusalem in stocks, bro. You know what I mean? Like just pelting every day, just chucking shit. You know what I mean? But on the fingers like the apologists. Yeah. Just have
sorry.
Man, just there in the stocks, man, all messed up, man. On one of the gates, man. On the gates of
you're gonna be sorry. You apologizing, man.
You know? I'm just pelting limes at him, man. You know, Jake got that strong arm, man. Hey, man, that's a beautiful thing. To actually be there to witness the destruction of our enemies and to take part in it and to be the ones to actually go and grab up these entitled devils from around the world and these entitled heathens and tell them, I told you so. That's a beautiful thing, man. It is beautiful, man. It's beautiful. It will bring joy to a man's soul, man. Happiness. Now, if you just come in there and, it's a bit different.
Man, I feel like Pharrell, man.
Yeah, man, that's going to be beautiful, man. Getting the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. Our children ain't going to have the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers in captivity. They're going to be born, and that's just how it is. It's going to be, you ain't ever going to be able to experience that again throughout all eternity. That transition. That transition is beautiful, man. Klaus Schwab and them, man, to hold on to them. He's saying something about our own nothing.
See the fingers?
Oh, that's devils, man. The Pope, if you survive, we get hold of the Pope and all that. Go on.
This is, so that a man shall say, verily there is a reward for the righteous. Verily he is a God that judgeth in the earth.
That's right.
Justice has been served.
The Lord is the one that's going to make all this happen. That's why all our full faith is not on ourselves and we're going to get together and get guns and militarize. No. The Lord is going to do all these things. We're waiting on the Lord. Like, the Lord has already prepared that way for us, man. He's coming with the holy angels, man. And he's going to sort it all out. You got something up?
Yeah, 11, Revelation.
Okay.
Down back.
Revelation 19, and I start from 12 and 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called faithful and true, and in righteousness he does judge and make war.
Yeah, so the Lord's coming to make war with the world, man. He's not coming to save the world. Like the brother said earlier, he's coming to make war. And it's going to be destructive and merciless. And I don't know what kind of pain you feel when them laser beams are going to hit you, but it's probably not, it's probably not nice. The shit, man, you know what I mean? I don't know what, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what that shit's going to do to you, do to your body, man, but it's probably not going to feel nice. I'll tell you that. So up next,
He atomize you.
yeah, man, rip your nerves apart. Yeah, go on.
His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture deep in blood, and his name is called the Word of Mosiah.
Right, so word of the Most. So that's talking about Yahweh Shai. And again, that vesture dipped in blood goes back to Isaiah 63. And what does Isaiah 63? So it talks about the year of my redeemed. So the Lord's coming to war the nations, but also to redeem his people, to beginning with the elect. Right, and guess what? The scripture tells you the dead in Yahweh Shai shall rise first, because it has to be proven that not even death can separate us. So the brothers that are martyred or who passed are going to be there too, because it's a glorious thing to witness that event, that transition. So they're going to be there in the chariots with the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's a beautiful thing. Certain brothers, imagine this: like you get killed for the name of the Lord's sake for refusing the MOTB, and you're up there in a chariot watching the guy that killed you getting burnt by a missile, man. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You win. Who's having the last laugh?
That's it.
You thought you defeated me, but here I am blazing your whole nation. How about that? Because death ain't nothing, man. Our Lord he's over all that. Unlike Esau ain't over nothing.
So, and the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goes a sharp sword, that with it should smite the nations, and he should load them with a load of iron.
So right there, that means there's going to be a world war. We know this. And that's going to cause destruction. But when Yahweh Shai comes, I don't think you understand. It's going to be total destruction. Just like the flood. You see the flood? That wiped out a whole civilization. What do you think it was? Mud huts? Nah, them man had buildings and skyscrapers and all that. They had technology back then. That's what they don't want to teach you. Because they want you to think, oh yeah, primitive cave. No, man, listen. The Bible tells you that Cain and them were making flipping bronze, metallurgy. They were already creating alloys back then. Them man had technology. They lived longer. You know how much you could do? Do you know what holds back most inventors? Death. They say that it takes at least 50 years to be good at anything. So really and truly, right? We're cursed in this life to the point where when you get good at something, you fade and it's time to die. Like look at man like Messi and them. Just take it on a sport level. Sport's messed up because when you've got all the energy and the athletic ability, you don't have the experience and the knowledge. As you get the
experience and the knowledge, what happens to your athletic ability? It's disappearing rapidly. So you got man that are like top dons like Pielo and them guys coming towards the end of their career. If they could have a fresh body where they had the energy of their youth for another 30 years, you probably end up seeing madness on the pitch. But you're never going to see it because they lack that.
New ability,
Or you might get a guy that he's smart, he's done all this research and these inventions and he's like a genius, but he starts getting to like 65, 70, slowing down now, and then he just dies. Now imagine if that same guy could live to 400 years old. You're multiplying everything that he could do with his life, with his skills. So back then, man, you go back to the pre-flood world, they had technology and all those things, but none of it mattered, and that was the point. All that technology they had, and the Lord still wiped them out through their evil. And the same thing's gonna happen again today. All the technology that Esau has, the Lord's still gonna wipe them out, because the most important thing is righteousness. It doesn't matter what technology you think you got, or how your civilization. Listen, if the Lord wanted to, the simplest thing, unplug your whole civilization. What was the simplest thing? The Lord opened up the waters from beneath and opened up the waters from above, and it was a wrap start. Now, guess what? Even with all the technology they have today, that them man got the submarines and they got the lasers and all this. Let the waters rise again. Man, listen, man. What
still can't do nothing about it. Yeah.
If the heavens, water started coming down from the heavens and water's coming up out of the earth,
and it didn't stop
to rise up above the mountains.
What you gonna do?
What the fuck? Man, it's dead, man. Especially if it happened in a 30-day period.
What they show you, they know that. They showed the movie 2012, right? They had to build that new ark in it, right? All those man to survive, innit? Everything else was destroyed.
And they would have been dead.
But this is what I'm saying, like, nothing would have survived anyway. Like, even to this day, as much as it's so-called advanced, right? They still got the answers for these types of things.
But that's catastrophe way beyond.
They can't stop hurricane, they can't stop tornado, can't stop volcano. They can't stop any of these things, you know. And most I will send those things there to destroy you with, man. And they're ancient, ancient methods.
The Lord choosing not to just flood the earth.
That's it.
You could do it, man. Imagine if it just started raining and water started coming up. What emergency? But there ain't no emergency procedures for that. But you just have to like hope.
Accept your fate. You know, that's what you have to do. Accept that fate, man.
You know?
Oh shit.
You just gotta take a deep breath. You know. Don't fight it, man. Just take it all in, bro.
I wouldn't bother, man. I was just drowning.
You know. But that's what they don't tell you, man.
Yeah.
There was technology back then, right? But it didn't help them. They all died.
Yeah. Certain knowledges
straight off the bat, innit? You know what I'm saying? Because people lived longer back then. They had metallurgy, they had all of that, man. And they find aluminium, ancient aluminium. But in order to make aluminium is made through electrolysis. What did I tell you? They had electricity back then. Because you can't make aluminium without electricity. So there's a lot of things that Esau don't let you know. Like, yeah, they had certain things back then. But guess what? The Lord destroyed them. And the same thing.
What Tesla was showing, man, about the free electricity or whatever, free energy. You know, he was able to get onto that.
But what happened to them civilizations? Gone. They were wiped out. They find little things here and there. Like I think they found some little underwater structure somewhere off the coast of Australia, but it's gone. You get me? Like them man ain't even in the museum. Atlantis, man. That's
them things there.
The Lord wiped it off the face of the earth, man, and then just everything went back to how it was. The point I'm gonna make? Reset.
That's what it is, a reset.
Well, that's what the Lord's gonna do again. Get Second Esdras, the 16th chapter.
Because I quoted it earlier, man, but it says that man is upright, but they've sought many inventions, man. They sought many inventions, man. They were gifted, man. They learned things and developed things and that, but pride.
Even planes can't save you. If there's a massive flood, what can a plane do for you? If waters are coming down from the heaven and waters are coming up here,
can't land it.
What are you gonna do with this plane? You're gonna die. Like there's gonna be lightning, all kind of stuff, man.
Yeah. Clouds.
Oh, I'll just fly my plane. Good luck,
you know. The pressure of the earth will change.
The oil is gonna finish it.
Huh?
The oil is gonna finish.
It's gonna finish.
And then we're gonna be diving down.
You're gonna be diving down into that water, mate. Like, you know what I mean? You better have your swimming suit, man.
You know, but what we're saying, man, you know, they bought these inventions, but pride came in. You know, men got prideful, just like today. And that's why the flood was only sent.
So how are you gonna deal with the mighty chariots blazing laser fire? And that's what they're gonna do. The chariots are gonna come and destroy everything. Because we're not gonna be living in, like, you know, some kingdoms when they take over another kingdom, they like just move in.
Yeah, yeah.
They move into the, like, so like we're gonna in Europe and I'm gonna go living in some mansion that one of these devils was with it. No, listen, this whole place is what's it called? Leprosy of the house, man. Everything is going to be flattened and brought to the ground. Everything, every skyscraper, every building is going to be destroyed. Every church, every mosque, right? Every statue, every monument. We're not going to be preserving anything because that's the old world. It's all going to be brought down to rubble.
Well, at the beginning, all these places like Europe and that, it's going to be given back to nature anyway. Yep. Nature going to break the shit down.
Well,
after the blazing, you know.
So this is going to be a real destructive event, man. Like the Great Wall of China, that's not going to exist no more. This is going to get blazed with fire.
It's going to be a hill.
The pyramids of Giza are the wonders of the world. They're going to go. Why do we need them for? You see this? The chariot, man. You know that movie? What's it called? You know the movie War of the Worlds, when the thing just and you see the bridge just go into rubble. Yeah, that's what the chariots are going to be doing. It ain't just America's gonna be destroyed in terms of turned to like molten lava, like they're gonna be destroyed. But all these other places in the earth, like Mecca and London and all this thing, you think the Gherkin's still gonna be standing? Big Ben, listen, blaze all of that. We don't need it. Buckingham Palace. We're gonna build our world from the bottom up, from scratch. We're not gonna be living in your shit, man.
From the ashes, your will we build a better one.
Yeah,
that's what it's gonna be.
Adding your walls to our walls. Like I didn't even know this. If you go down, Tower Hill Station, there's a segment in Tower Hill Station where you look through the wall they built. There's a Roman wall from when the Romans was ruling over Londonium. But we ain't gonna be like, you go Jerusalem and here's a piece of wall that Amalek built. Oh man, or we go, look over there, look, there's the whatever building, the Louvre. No man. There's the Eiffel Tower. No, it's all demonic anyway.
I remember Book of Maccabees, I think it's because the heathens kind of defiled it.
Yeah, you have to get a whole new altar.
Yeah, they built a whole new one because until a high priest came in and told us what to do with this, they weren't going to deal with that, man. They built a different one because it's been tarnished. This earth has been tarnished by the foulness of the wicked on the earth, man. So it's all going to be destroyed, man. We're going to start again.
Pyramid over there in China, you got huge Buddha. There's one thing, there's a massive Buddha over there. People go and visit. But it's massive. Some blood cloud Buddha stone. Yeah, man, like carved into the stone, and then like the waters come up and go down on the feet and all that. Like massive. Yeah, it's one of them tourist things. What you think that's gonna still be there? But the chariot's just gonna come. That's gone, black. Yeah, what's that? I'm just telling you what it's gonna be like. That's why it's a massive event. It truly is going to be. After that, it's going to be a new world, because the old world, the Bible says, is going to be dissolved. It's going to be removed.
And that's why it's called the second death, because like the first death was the flood, changed everything,
washed everything away.
Everything had to start again from zero.
Like Dubai, they're building up all that. That's going to be destroyed, man.
Landscaping and shit. No. Talismans.
Go ahead, let's get that in second Esdras. You know the point. Yes, from verse 22. So it's going to be beautiful to see the chariots do their thing, man. It's going to be war. In war, you destroy the enemy, you destroy their houses. But that's all right, because they're not going to need them houses. We're going to have slave quarters for them, pits. All these men got their mortgages and all that.
Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about the mortgage, brother. These little shitty houses. Most of the houses that are being built now are slapped up with no quality. They're just slapping them up. Like my uncle went in, you know, the one they're building down Riverside, and he's gonna be mad. It's gonna be like over $2,000, even on a 1 or 2 bedroom, right? It's mad a month, right? My uncle went in and he said, "Yo, Richie, you know what I'm saying?" Yeah, because them man are like, them man are proper. When them monster man build things, they don't play games. They build proper. He said the thing's flimsy, like you knock on the wall and he said it's just plasterboard.
That's the same thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this brother's dad is a master builder. You hear me? So he knows. Marco, them man, when they had to build back in the day, they had to build. Now it's like, how can we slap up a house, make it look half decent on the outside, because it's new, it's gonna look half decent anyway. But really and truly, the thing ain't straight. Yeah, the inside is broke up. So in about 10 years, it's gonna be falling apart anyway. But it doesn't matter, because for right now, this dickhead's gonna pay us 600 grand for it. And he's gonna be on the line for that, and that's all that matters.
Because houses are scarce.
Houses are scarce.
So someone's gonna have to be living in there.
So all over London, they're slapping up these, and a lot of these high rises, that 24 stories, like you go over Canning Town, and they're expensive, and it's all flats. Man are spending like fucking 700 grand or 600 grand on a fucking flat.
Very few houses actually do it.
Some light fire on all that, man. It's shit anyway.
No, Grenfell. You know what I'm saying?
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all crap, man. There ain't really much quality being built now anyway, so just destroy it. Fuck it.
So I must say, yeah, Grenfell is better than the Twin Towers. Because at least that stood up, you know, that stood up still, innit?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, boy.
But yeah, man, it's cheap. You know, cheap, well, cheap and cheerful, as they would say, it. But it's purposely made cheap because they don't give a shit about what happens to it in 10, 20 years.
And a lot of these people, their thing is, oh, so I'm going to go to the third world and build a mansion. Lord's going to destroy that too.
Well, the local drive rivers, he's going to do all kinds of things, man. Look at it. Yeah, man.
And the chariots are going to be all over the world, man. They're going to have a mission to destroy, to cleanse.
So we're going to open them sinkholes as well.
Sinkholes.
Yeah, man, an earthquake and all that, man. And rightfully so. Go on now, let's read that.
Earthquake. This is the book of 2 Ezra 16 and 22. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine. And
I was going to say this. Another thing they used to do in the ancient world is when they would destroy another civilization, they would take the rubble and build their civilization. We're not going to do that. Because this place is defiled. Because that's what they would do. Like, you know, like they'll break it up, but then obviously you still got the bricks and the stuff that they've broken up, and they'll salvage the bricks and reuse the bricks to build something else. We ain't going to do that. Fresh bricks. The old stuff has to get cleared out the way.
Freshly baked.
Fresh, yeah?
At the oven.
Everything fresh, yeah? New styling. And ain't having nothing that these heathens were using, yeah?
2 Ezra 16 and 22. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, and the dead shall be cast out as a dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them.
Right, meaning there's going to be so much death and destruction out here that funerals is not going to be a thing. There ain't going to be no funeral. You want to know when are we in the time of Jacob's trouble? There ain't no funerals, bro. There ain't no funerals. Like, it's done. When you see people having funerals, it ain't that deep. When they had Hotel Rwanda, remember when we watched Hotel Rwanda, and the man were in their perils, but you didn't see man coming to pick up bodies and
the boat. None of that was going on, man.
Man.
He dead, where he dropped, just where he was, man.
Yeah, man, like a piece of shit. Wait. I was saying, where you drop it, stop. Yeah, that's how it's gonna be. There ain't gonna be no one there to clean your body and, you know, and embalm you and all that stuff. It's just gonna be out there. Yeah, go on. Stinking. Terrible. Not your best picture.
And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth,
a lot of times people are going to clear bodies out and pile them up. Just pile them up into you're like 10 man just there piled up. Yeah, give it 2, 3 days, 4 days. You see maggots crawling all over them, stinking up the place. You know what I mean? They show you in them zombie films. Shit like that, man.
Well, even in warfare, man, there's no time for burials, really. Man, they got dug a hole in him when the man got dropped in there. You know what I'm saying?
Massacres, yeah. Mexican style.
Because you can't have dead bodies on the battlefield because you're gonna make your man sick, right? Yeah, so we dug a big fucking hole, man. Just dropped. No one remembers these guys. You know what I mean? They're just there in the earth now. Yeah, just in the earth now. You know, that's it. Sorry, you know. You know, the wife at home was like, oh, Yeah, sorry, yeah. We don't know. Yeah.
They, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. There sh-
The earth shall be wasted and the cities are going to be cast down. So all these cities that they're built up throughout the earth, they're going to be totally demolished, man, by the war and by the chariots. Because the chariots are going to be getting busy too. All them cities that they built in China, them ghost cities, they're going to stay ghost cities because they're going to get that. They're going to get broke up. Yeah, independent. What was that? Independence Day, man.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, sound weaponry, sound weapons, man. You know.
There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them?
Meaning like it's gonna be mass depopulation, man. There's gonna be a lot of death, man. So the trees are gonna be left alone. You know what I'm saying? Like there's not gonna be as many mouths to feed. Yeah. Vineyards are gonna be here, like out in the countryside. No one ain't there to pick them because man are dead.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
The grapes shall ripen, and who shall treat them? For all places shall be desolate of men.
All places shall be desolate of men. Yeah, like you got a lot of places in the world that's highly populated, like Delhi. It's not gonna be. Ain't gonna be as populated. It's gonna be drastically reduced, man. That's gonna be the judgment of the Lord. And then whoever's left, slavery.
So you're going to get transported down towards Jerusalem, man.
Mm-hmm.
For work.
Yeah, man.
So that's where the concentration is going to be in the Middle East. Around Israel. The rest of the earth ain't going to be inhabited, really.
You better have skill. Hey, the better the skill, the better you might live.
Yeah, more use.
Yeah, you better be. You know what I mean? Better be a brickie or something. You know what I mean?
That's some overweight.
Yeah. We don't want a media
TV pusher, like
media studies graduate, man. It's gonna be peak for you. Grunt work. Yeah, grunt work, man.
No, laborers.
Hey, because there's different levels, man. In even in slavery, different slaves they suffer differently. Everybody don't suffer equal. You got a skilled job in slavery, you're gonna suffer less than the grunts. That's just with the pickaxe picking out wood, you know what I mean? There's different levels, man. The guys in the mines ain't gonna be having fun, I'll tell you that. But mines is like one of the worst works you could do.
Hot, claustrophobic,
hard work,
humid.
And we're gonna have mines, There ain't nothing wrong with mines. But how else you think you get rock out of the earth? You don't just come out like by magic. You're gonna have to dig it out. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
As goes on to say, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. For of the seed there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field.
Meaning, basically that represents not literally 10. It just represents like, say you got a city like London. London's got what, 9 million or 11 now?
I always forget this number.
It's like between 9 and 11 million people in London, man. London is like, it's got way more people. I think the whole of Scotland only got 4 million people. Like, it's mad. Like, London's got more people. Yeah, Scotland only. Yeah, brother's gonna fact check me. Yeah, I'm sure Scotland
that
only.
That doesn't sound like a lot.
It ain't. Scotland is sparsely.
Only 4 million.
Scotland's sparsely populated, man. I'm sure there's only like 4 million people in the whole of Scotland or something. There's definitely more people in London than there is in Scotland.
Where's this? London. Yeah, okay, almost 9 million.
And what about Scotland? So London's got 9 million people. So when it says 10 of a city, it means the population is not going to be nowhere near 9. Like now, there's just people everywhere. There's a lot of dead people, man. So it's not going to be as populated as it is. The death and the
5.5.
All right, it's 5.5. So yeah, there's more. There's more people in London. You can say double the people in just the city of London than there is in the whole of Scotland. Mad thing, isn't it? Scotland, yeah.
2 Ezra 16:28. For of the seed For of the seed there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the logs.
They're gonna be hiding. They're gonna be hiding. It's fair, man. Go on.
As in an orchard of olives upon every tree, there are left 3 or 4 olives, or as when a vineyard
Left. And that's exactly what it's gonna be. Like after World War III and the return of our Lord, there's these heathens are gonna be left. They're not being saved. They're just left. They're just the ones that didn't die because they're reserved for slavery, because we need we need a labor force. We need a remnant of them to be to not delivered but to be left alive, so that we can have the slaves. Man, you can't kill everybody. What are you gonna do? So there's gonna be, and all the different nations.
I mean, that would mean we have to do the work ourselves.
Yeah, it's not.
That's
not
not
fun.
that's not a king. That's not kingly.
That ain't baller. There you go.
or as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some cluster of them that the regent seek through the vineyard. Even so, in those days there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that set their houses with the sword, and the earth shall be laid waste.
See what I mean? It said the earth is going to be laid waste. So between World War III and the chariots, the earth is going to be laid waste. And it says the earth. So it's not just America. Obviously, America is going to get the greatest of judgment, because their missiles and the chariots are going to turn that place into a lake of fire. But all these other nations too, they're going to get destruction as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just not, remember, America's getting fire everywhere. Like the whole thing is going to be pelted with fire. Whereas in England, you might just get London and the buildings here and a castle over there, whatever, chariot just come through and blaze it up. But the farmland and all that's not going to be melting with fire and all that, you know what I mean? It's not necessary.
As goes on, and the earth shall be laid waste, and the field thereof shall wax old, and our ways and all our paths.
Like, for instance, here, like you can already see that what's known as they call it serial succession. For those of you who actually listened in the geography class, if they didn't come and cut this grass, and you can see it happening already, right? The grass is being overcome by bushes. And so if you came back here where we are, they didn't cut the grass, there really wouldn't be no grass here no more. It would be just these trees and whatever bushes can survive under these trees. It wouldn't be all cut nice grass and everything nice. The earth would always try and strive to get to whatever environment that habitat can sustain. So if you're in a marsh area, it'll go back to being marsh. If you're in a wetland, it will go back to being a wetland. If you're in a forest area, eventually, even if there's no trees, eventually it will turn into a forest. Over time, it will go through what's known as serial succession. And that's what the earth is going to be. So London, a lot of London is actually marshland and supposed to be underwater half the time. That's why they got the Thames barrier. Like even where we are, like in Dagenham and that, a lot of that's like floodplain. It's marshy. That's why they had to. A lot of Dagenham houses are actually I don't know if you've seen it. Even around from your yard, some of the houses when you go past, we've got massive cracks going down the yard.
Oh, I've got some cracks in my
because the yard is actually sinking on. The reason that's happening, the yard's sinking on one side of the foundation because they didn't pile it low enough. Because Dagenham is a floodplain. Like most of the London is floodplain. That's why they have to have the Thames barrier, because they didn't. A lot of it would just go underwater. But what happens if the barrier ain't there no more? Whenever the Thames bursts its banks, all that will just go back to being marshes. There's a lot of marshland in London. Floodplain, isn't it? So you just go back to that. Yeah. Venice, certain places are supposed to be underwater.
And all our paths shall grow full of thorns.
The paths, the roads, the pavements, if they're not maintained over the course of years, they will break up and disappear. And the perfect example of that is these ancient civilizations, mainly our civilizations. Over there in South America, the jungle, boy, and the jungle is the most, that's acid. The jungle is the worst environment because jungles grow fast. Yeah. If you don't listen, if you don't take care of man, cut back the jungle, it don't take long before you come back and there is no building. You're looking for it, you will never find it because it's just in the thick of jungle. A lot of our people, they built great cities in the Americas. Them cities are gone. You need to be Magneto or something to try and find them cities again. You be walking on the city and you don't know because you be in the city and you don't know because all you look around the jungle and bananas and monkeys. That used to be a city because the vines and everything, they just grow real quick and it's gone. Starts getting weathered, broken down, things fall apart, done. The Amazon, it's just, you fly over it, it's just jungle. Where it used to be a great city that they cut back with farmland and buildings and pyramids, there ain't nothing there no more. So the Americas is a good example of, in a short space of time, couple 100 years, your civilization is gone, man. It's just jungle now. Because you're not there to cut it back and maintain it. Which I've been noticing, they ain't cutting the thing properly nowadays anyway. Look, I mean, look at this, but it wasn't like that last year. They didn't leave it like this. What's this all about here? And it's not just here, all over the ends. Like, they're not cutting the grass properly, man. They austerity or something, man. Lucky there ain't no snakes. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
fuck, you know.
That will be problematic.
Bro, I've noticed that a lot. Even I went to a football game the other day. Bro, you should have seen the pitch.
Bad.
Bro, the pitch was almost like this, man. I was thinking, what's going on? Cut the grass, man. Bro, you can't dribble on that. No, you know, listen.
Hey man, the Brazilians can dribble on sand, bro.
Yes.
You just have to manage, innit?
Bro, you can't dribble on it. Sand, I prefer sand to that. Go on. Because no man shall travel therethrough. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husband. Their daughter shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegroom be destroyed, and their husband shall perish of famine. Yeah, boy. A lot of men are gonna die in that World War III. They're gonna die. They're already starting to die. Them Ukrainians are already dying. And it's not gonna stop with them. The Ukrainians are getting torn up, man. Them dudes weren't equipped for war. They weren't ready. Hey, one video, I think I sent it to you. The man them are there by the tank just chilling. The Russian tank is coming down the road. And these men have not even identified it's a Russian tank. They're just there chilling like, oh, there's a tank.
The same tanks.
No, they don't.
No,
they don't. They're completely different tanks. They're just not on their game, bro. They're just there like, oh, what's that? And my man just goes, boom. Bro, you just see them, man, Ukrainian man just go into pieces, man. They didn't even realize that, and the tank's there in front of them. They're looking at the tank like, you gotta be, to a layman, you might think, oh, it's just a tank. But there is a difference. They have a grid, like the Russian tanks have a grid on them. It's a different make. It's like the difference between like a BMW and an Audi, but you can fucking see it, man. They just
I just thought Russians they had Russian tanks.
no, come on, brother. You know who's been supplying them all these years? It ain't been Russia. They might have been rolled. They got the European things.
Yeah, I thought they had the old tanks.
Nah, they ain't got the Russian tanks. But you're supposed to be able to identify your enemy. Well, that means that shows you they were not trained. How do you not identify the enemy tank and just stand there and get killed? Get turned into minced meat. So they're already dying, you know. But more people are gonna go out that way. You know, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time, and they're already psychologically preparing both sides to enter that war. Oh, it's Russia's fault for this and Russia's fault for that. Yes, that's how it works. You plant the seed into the mind of the people. That's the enemy. That's the enemy.
Create that boogeyman.
Create that boogeyman that you're gonna have to go die for. You know, And trust me,
They're a threat to the world.
this war ain't no glory in these wars. These wars are not really made for men. These wars are nothing but metal. You should be only robots should be in these wars. Cause you just taken out.
So many guns
Instead of fucking movie, you running, you die before you even get to the battle, man. Man, just come and just you don't even know you're gonna die. All you hear is a sound, and it's a fucking missile just come and tear you up. It's ridiculous, man. No, Achilles thing. No glory to be had. Just loud and fucking. Can't even think. Guns are loud, you know. Imagine you got a whole squadron of men shooting, blood. That's just long. It's all fucking loud and messed up. It's a sad way to go out, man. And then if you notice, these wars are so unrighteous. The soldiers are all committing suicide, and it's so messed up, man. Because it's fucked. Fuck your nerves up for life, like.
Yeah, they don't believe what they're fighting for, really.
Yeah, man, it just fucks your nerves up. You're better off going into a war, sword against sword, and then not all this like shells landing over here and landing over here.
Just destroying people.
Yeah, because you never get shell shocked before.
Yeah,
You couldn't get shell shock is because of the mortars and the explosions and that. It's fuck your nerves up, man.
Any sound, innit? Any car, it's all fucked up.
Sudden death, man. It's mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you got the snipers, man.
Triggering memories.
Oh man. Yeah, go on.
So we go for Isaiah. Isaiah 9 and
Man shaking like this. Yes,
There
sir.
was a guy out here who was shaking
Yeah.
the man.
Yeah, outside.
Isaiah 9 and 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and the garment Lord was in blood. But this shall be with burning and furious fire.
Yeah, burning the fire, man. The weaponry these men are rolling with now. But it's missiles, man. But they're still gonna send you out there to die. You know, to get taken out by missiles and all sorts, man. And it's not nice. It's terrible. You know, you get hit with a missile barrage or some big flipping mini what do they call it? Fucking 50 caliber shooting off. Brrr. I remember they were showing one thing, 2 American helicopters laying off them big ass fucking machine guns. But them bullets are like this big, fam. Like the bullet actually damages you even if it don't touch you. You know that?
Yeah.
Like them bullets are so like high powered that it doesn't actually have to touch you. If it actually goes near you, the force of the bullet coming past you will tear your arm off, man. It's a madness. Listen, loud, man. I ain't going to no World War III, man. Yo,
Anyway. Here, Second Ezra 16 and 35. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servant of the Lord. Behold the word of the Lord. Behold the word of the Lord. Receive it. Believe not the powers of whom the Lord spake. Behold, the plague draw nigh, and they are not slack. As when a woman with a child is in the 9th month, bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plague be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side.
So to be honest with you, we're due another big event. You know, it feels like it. I feel like, hold on, it ain't really been a big event for a good couple months now. You know what I'm saying? We're kind of due, like June, July. I feel like something major has to pop off, man. I'm not saying it's World War III. I'm saying it's been a couple. Even feeling like, you know what, man, things have been kind of normalizing. You know, when you go into that normalized state, like where everything's normalized now, you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, it's time to do the next event. So we'll see. We're always watching and ready and waiting, because it ain't. That's how the birth pains come, man. They come one after the other. They come in timely, man.
Yeah.
So hey, could be June. Something might pop off. Never know.
Should I continue? All my people, hear my word, make you later to the battle, and in those evil be even as a pilgrim upon the earth. He that sell, let him be as he that frees away.
Right, in that time, in this time to come, not now, because obviously, you know, oh, you're just gonna leave your job and then blame me. You know what I'm saying, man? Niggas are simple, man. You know what I mean? Niggas like, yo, I had the elder say, be like a pilgrim, so I just, you know what I mean? I had a Etsy going. I just sold all my stock for nothing and just left. Went out into the woods. No, no. Nah, it's all like, you know, man, when that time comes when everything's going to hell, you can't have the mindset of like
Being attached.
preserving this life or preserving these things that you so-called have set up for yourself, like you being attached to. Like right now, we use the world as not abusing it. So you might have a house, you might have a car, you might be like, you know, have a business, and you're gonna work on that business. You'd be stupid not to. Like you're not gonna, if you set up a business, you're gonna be trying to get that business going. You're not gonna be like, fuck it, are you? Like, because you have to carry on day by day. You're gonna go work. If a promotion comes up, you'd be stupid to not go for the promotion, especially if you're gonna get paid more money for less work. Like, it's just no brainer, isn't it? Like, no one ain't, oh, yeah, fuck my job. You know what I mean? None of that stuff. However, when our hell breaks loose, listen, man, if you gotta leave your yard, the spirit's on you. It's like, listen, man, this yard ain't ready. Right here ain't the place to be right now. I gotta go over there. Don't hesitate, man. Do it. You follow the spirit, man. Don't be whole. Oh no, but this is my house. I paid for it. Oh, you're like, all right, cool. Then next thing you know, like a motor strike come true and just murk you up because you valued that house more than taking heed to the spirit, man. You know what I'm saying?
And I said everything's gonna go. There ain't one thing that's gonna be left standing, man. You know, you ain't taking shit with you.
Yeah. So don't be attached to the things of this world, man. In that time, you might have to just, you know, move in the spirit, move how it works, man. In that time, not now, like, you know what I mean?
Because even this time is like in the 70 AD when you know Jerusalem was under siege, right? And the Lord told not to go back and you know grab this and grab that and whatever, man. Because you ain't got time for all that, man. You got to move, or you're gonna die. You will die. You know what I mean? The wrong one is not playing games. You're gonna die. So when you fled, you fled. Yeah. Same with Lot. Lot fled. Lot's wife looked back. Look what happened to her. So we're not constrained by the things that are here on this earth right now for us, man.
Yeah, mortgage, Bob.
Yeah.
I'm paying my mortgage, my house.
You know,
it's got to go. It's got to go.
That's it. That's it.
You got to move out on road. You got to move out on road, innit?
Yep.
Don't worry about the possessions and you know that you've invested in. You can't. It's a loss, innit? For the kingdom. It's your survival. Anyway, go on.
He that selleth, let him be as he that frees away, and he that buys as one that will lose.
Yeah, because right now, obviously, you know, you might make your investments, try and make some money, get a moonshot and that, you know, if necessary, because you got to pay, we still have to pay bills, we have to pay rent and all these things here, so you got to make money. But when that time comes, none of that's going to matter, innit? So don't worry about merchandise and things like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it shouldn't be what's on your mind. What's your mind? Spiritual things and surviving, man, through the spirit. So if the Lord, you know, be led through the spirit, basically, man. You might have to go live with another brother, or a brother might come live with you, or you know what I mean? Yeah. You never know what might happen. Or you might have to break into some crackers' houses, man. But not like that goofy ass nigga that went up in them crackers' houses now on TikTok. What is wrong with you, man? Niggas, you know, in this world, man.
Generation.
Just do anything for the fucking for the likes and for the views. And the worst thing is, you don't really even make no money from it no more. It's not like how it used to be. Like views really don't make money no more. Like you can get millions of views and make like £10. It's just mad. Just do anything for it. It's hooked on this clout, man. It's that crazy world we live in, man. Yeah, what an embarrassment, man. Cracker should have broke him up in that house. Anyway, either lucky it weren't my yard, but he wouldn't have done. Thing is, he wouldn't have gone Halsden. He went to Buttery area where there's like these super buttery Edomite stuff that are so protected from normal life that they don't have. You know what I mean?
They react in different ways.
Yeah, he wouldn't have gone down Cannon Town in certain ends, you know, with some old school crackers in there, like some skinheads and that, and try to come up in the yard. He's probably would have just got knuckle dusted And then, you know, then it will be Black Lives Matter after that. You know what I'm saying? Now we're gonna be crying for this nigga. Oh, you know, he was only doing a TikTok and they beat him to death with a wrench with his work. You know what I mean? That's what probably would have happened to. They pick and choose where they do that. He weren't gonna do that in certain areas, blood. He would have got a Glasgow kiss. You're gonna end up with a what they call it?
Joke smiley.
What's it? Chelsea smile or some
Yeah.
shit. You would have got fucked up, man, if he went to say. So he went to probably Richmond or somewhere like that, man, with some buttery ass crackers and sweaters. Oh, James. Hey, sorry, can you leave, please? Yeah, man, he didn't go to the ends. He didn't go to the manners because he knows, like, come up in a man's yard like that, bro, he's just gonna get fucked up. Him and his brethren. Man would have been calling man from around the corner. It would have been peak for them. In fact, I want to see you do that, actually. You know what I mean? Go barking or something and roll up in some fucking Nigerian's yard like that, bro. Man, just go. Yeah, go on, man. Have all you man in the yard standing there, man. Some shit. Facing the wall and shit, man. Your body's in England and your spirit somewhere in Nigeria, man. Fucking pounding fufu for his auntie, man.
Stuck in a glass jar something. Get out.
Hey, fuck these niggas, man. Anyway, go on out. These niggas are embarrassing. And they're an embarrassment. These Jake, they do these things and don't understand that when you do foolishness, it will reflect on the rest of your people. And some poor Negro's gonna have to pay for that foolishness that you've done. Because crackers want to get somebody back for that. And they just like, see these niggas, look. And then some next Jake gonna get fucked up somewhere in a pub because of what you did. But mate, I didn't. Oh, hey, fuck you out, one of them niggas.
We're fucking assholes.
Because of you, man. That's what niggas don't understand. You do foolishness, it reflects on the rest of your people, man. Some other Negro gonna have to pay for that. Anyway, go on now. Oh, fucking idiots, man. Taser that nigga. If I saw him now, I had a taser. I'd tase him.
It goes on. It says at 2 Corinthians 16 and 42. He that occupies merchandise as he that has no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein.
Yeah, you know, you can't fully commit yourself to this world in that way, man. You know, you have to always remember, keep yourself clued into the fact that, you know, it is going to be destroyed, man. Like, I want to build my house in Jamaica. Yeah, it's going to be destroyed, isn't it? Just remember that. So, yeah, you could build your house, but remember, lay up your treasures in heaven. And that's where the ultimate everlasting benefit is going to be. The only thing we're going to be able to take into the new kingdom is ourselves.
But not even this body, though.
Not even this body, man.
You know, but you know, our spirits and that. You know, if the Lord permit it, you know, you might have wife and kids or whatever. But that is it, man. If not your favorite trainers,
Yeah, Jordans.
none of that stuff.
Your Jordan collection.
Nothing like that. The games consoles. none of that. None of that's coming, man. I tell my boy that, man. He's not upset.
You're saved, innit? You're saved, innit?
Yeah, you know, it ain't coming, man. It's all gonna be gone with this world. You know, because like you said, we're starting again from scratch. You know, literally everything.
We're gonna be living like a PS5 in the kingdom. Our life is gonna be a game, a real game. And we're gonna be on cheat mode.
He that sows as if he should not live, so also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widow. And therefore they that labor in vain. For strangers shall reap their fruits, and spoil their goods.
Which, you know what, man? Going back to this monkey that ran up in that house, right? Which he is a monkey, innit? I agree with all them crackers on the comment board. He's a fucking monkey. He actually makes a good point. That them crackers living up in them buttery areas, yeah. The only thing that really protects them is the police or the like. They're not going to be in a good situation because you see that, like James, he was in that yard.
What if a bunch of gremlins hungry did bust up in that yard? Now they're murking you off. They're gonna violate your wife, violate your daughter, start stomping over your 50 grand paintings, smashing up your 120 grand statues or whatever you got in your yard that you built up for yourself. Rags the yard out and probably burn it on the way out. And then you gotta ask yourself, so what was it all for? Because that's how a lot of people are gonna go out.
That's how it's gonna end.
All that investment they did into their, like, them man got their townhouse and you finally can afford that nice. Them is some expensive. You know when you going down to Richmond, man, some of these yards are fucking expensive. They're like 2-3 million, like, for them yards. And man go there and think they made it. Oh yeah, like I've made it in life, and you got the paintings up. Then some grimy niggas come through and just fuck your whole life up, man. Turn it upside down and burn it. No, don't touch that.
But it's gonna be the same case with, you know, when these bank accounts go, you know, empty out, man. You know, your pensions are gone.
Oh,
right? Because for you to pay into a pension, you suffer now, kind of thing. You know, you restrict yourself on how you can live now, so you can live better, as you know, when you retire or whatever, man. when the pension's gonna go, you think, what the fuck did I do all this for? Putting all this money away and now it's gone. You know, I'm still paying off my mortgage. You know,
mortgage gone up.
Yeah, another was it 0.25%? No, another 0.5%, wasn't it?
Yeah, boy.
That's like 4.5% or some shit, something like that. 4%, 4.5%.
Yeah, it's madness. Yeah, like people are gonna find out. Like, a lot of these crackers live in these nice little gated communities, and usually they're not too far. Like, man's know where they are, and if the police ain't and the armed guards ain't there to protect you, you're gonna be prey for, like, you know, the riffraff, the savages, man. You know, and they're gonna come through and they're gonna all that food you got there, everything is gonna be spoils for someone else. And they're gonna be living in that yard, sleeping on your bed while you're dead in the backyard or tied up.
Let me read this quick. Actually, that's not funny.
Man, I wish them motherfuckers would have come up in the yard. Motherfuckers, man. You're fucking niggas, man. They're little bitch niggas as well. You gotta be a bitch to be doing shit like that for TikTok, man. Little gremlins, man. That's when you wish that it was my man from fucking what's his what's my man's name from Taken, bro? Liam Neeson. Like, it should have been Liam Neeson. They run up on, man. Just fucking execute all 5 of them little niggas in the house. I have a special skill set. Unique and special. Set of skills.
Where is it? Lost it.
Oh, you're looking at it.
Because of lack of famine. Let's say for lack of bread.
Yeah,
that's 16.
15.
It's 15.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. Oh, you know what? Yeah, they're using that picture memory stuff in it. I'm thinking it's here somewhere. That's not there. I remember where it is not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right. So yes, Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 15 says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. But there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, but because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid."
Yeah. It's gonna say it.
Oh, but I thought I missed it, right? So a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods for the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
That's what you wanted, right?
Yeah, that's what I wanted, yeah. I don't know why.
No, you kind of read it like it wasn't what you
I know, but my brain's not working right now, right? So yeah, that's what I wanted. Yeah, so yeah. You know, you got to be invaded, man, just because you got and they ain't, or they think you got. Oh, yeah, that's what they need, isn't it? So they need to know. Oh, rich ends, yeah, you must have. Any ends you must have, isn't it? Because they ain't got. So they're gonna go look. They're gonna go try and find out.
Yeah, you in LA, man, like Beverly Hills, all them people that's
in the. They're gonna run up in the Beverly Hills, man. They're gonna be breaking into them fucking mansions, and you're gonna be locked up in your fucking safe house, man. In your safe room.
Panic room.
Panic room. And they're gonna be enjoying your yard, fucking everything up.
While you're watching the Purge outside.
Yeah, while you're watching the purge go on, man. Yeah, they're gonna be they're gonna be all up in your house, man, and they ain't gonna leave. You know? Yeah. Using your toothbrush.
Oh shit.
Are you just gonna be in your panic room, man? Like the bitch shit you are. Yeah, that's how it's gonna be. It's gonna get real. You know, and they're gonna be out there violating your mansion. You know?
Yep.
Shitting everywhere and pissing everywhere.
Squatters' rights.
Yeah. Eating your fucking avocado butter. Go on,
And they, that means, but it's 2 Ezra 16 and 46. For strangers shall leave their flutes.
No, pistachio butter. You know, you get, instead of peanut butter, you got pistachio butter. I want to try it. That's expensive as fuck.
For 2 Ezra 16 and 46. For strangers shall leave their flutes and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children.
Yeah, and ultimately, we're going to be the ultimate ones, really, to be doing that to these heathens. We're going to come and collect them, you know, and take them, ultimately, and it's not going to be nice, is it? It's not going to be nice. Did you have any more scriptures you wanted to read? We can close it. You sure? Okay. Right. Yeah, so man, we look, man, these are the things that we look for when they're happening. There's a lot going on right now that's simmering on from previous things like the banking crisis and everything just simmering on. So, you know, we'll see, Lord willing, in the next 4 weeks, man. We'll see, man. I feel like there's some more coming down the pipeline. So yeah, with that we say Kal Halal Yahweh, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honor to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways. Shalom. Yeah, man, I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling that